Well, hello. You're probably wondering, I'm not Neil. Where's Neil? I normally do this with him since we started the series, and all of a sudden, he's not here. It's just me. It's your host. It's Kyle Manifold. Um, he won't be here tonight, unfortunately. It'll be myself. He will not be doing the show with us, but that's okay because he will make a special appearance tonight. He will be with us during the intermission of, I believe something big's going. Oh yeah, it's the Devils and the Rangers tonight, folks. It is Game 6. It's a massive game tonight. It is the Devils looking to end the entire series tonight in front of the Rangers fans at Madison Square Garden with Neil in attendance. We will be hearing from him at intermission. So it'll be either be a great night for the Devils, or are the Rangers going to play spoiler and go to Game 7 Monday night, where, if it happens, Neil will be in attendance. Devils Rangers Game 6 with Neil at intermission at MSG. You don't want to miss it. Let's get it going. Well, if this isn't something different, something that I've never done at all, this is a complete first for me. It's going to be an absolute shit show. I hope you know that. I am not the most tech savvy person. I am not probably the best person to ever do these sorts of things, but I figure why not? Let's give it a whirl. Neil asked me to do this for him, and I gladly accepted for him. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. We're going to have a great night tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, you could be doing things differently on a Saturday night, but instead, you're with me tonight. It's going to be a great night. I'm really excited for it. I cannot wait for the first intermission tonight. I am so excited to see Neil at intermission. The atmosphere that he's at tonight is going to be unbelievable. I'm excited to see his reactions to whatever's going to be happening in the first period, whatever else all the craziness is going on. But mostly, I just want him to stay safe and just have a fantastic night. But thank you guys for joining tonight. I am your host, Kyle Manifold. This is a first for me. So again, we're just getting that out of the system here. But again, thank you guys for coming on. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and make sure to check out all of our podcasts on our THPN YouTube, or on our website. Already butchered it right there too, but that's okay. Make sure to leave a prediction for tonight. We got a massive, massive Game 6 tonight. No other Game 6 is important. I think that's going on. We don't want to, nothing in South Florida, nothing else, I believe, in LA tonight. We don't have to worry about that. We are focused on this game tonight at Madison Square Garden. As I mentioned, the Devils winning 3 straight games, all of a sudden to turn this series completely around and now have the opportunity to lock it down, to absolutely finish the Rangers tonight in embarrassing fashion in what they've been doing the last 3 games. The Rangers, though, still alive. As much as the mistakes have been, they have a chance tonight to try to force a Game 7. And me and Neil kind of talked about it, that we think that would be pretty appropriate if it would go to 7 games. But I'm sure that's not what he's thinking tonight. He's probably repping his Devils gear. He's probably just ripping and raring to go for a good one tonight. So again, thank you guys for coming on. Yeah, let's get our predictions in. Maybe I'll kind of leave mine first. I do believe, and I told Neil before this, that I think this is going to go to 7 games. I like it going to 7. I think the Rangers are kind of pissed off at the fact that this is how it's been going, especially with guys like Panarin, Zibanejad, Kane, who haven't scored a goal this series. Sorry, Kane's got 1 goal. My bad. See, we're making mistakes. We're having fun here. Chris Kreider with 5 goals this series. So clearly somebody else has to step up here if you're the New York Rangers. But I think tonight I like the Rangers. I'm going to probably put my prediction down. I'd like to see this go to overtime. Maybe not too late because this might drag on for the longest time, but that's okay. I got the Rangers probably winning this 3-2 tonight. It's a very basic score. We got Sophie here thinking 7-4 Rangers. We haven't had a really high-scoring affair, I don't think, until games 1 and 2 when the Rangers blew them out of the water 5-1 respectively. So maybe we'll get something like that tonight. So Hockey from Home, what's going on, man? Jeff also too, good to see you. Thank you for coming on. I do appreciate it. We got Liam here saying it's 4-3 Rangers in overtime. Again, I like that. I like a good overtime. I think that's kind of what we're going to expect. But as we've seen in the playoffs, it's always expect the unexpected, right? So that's okay. Connor here, out of interest, to quote a certain party, are you going to have any pushbacks this evening? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Again, I'm not the most tech savvy person. So, if we have to have a pushback, we'll just play it lightly, and we're gonna have fun tonight. Everybody's gonna have fun. It's gonna be fine. But hopefully not. That's not the case. So Jeff also watching the Leafs game. They are playing nervously. I was watching about 10 minutes ish of the game, and the Lightning were pressing very early, but man, Samsonov seems like he's on his game too. If you guys want to keep me up to date too on the Leafs and Lightning, that would be greatly appreciated, because I haven't stopped hearing from Leaf fans and family members all week, and it'd be very nice to hear from other people about the score that's going on. So who's watching the Pirates right now? I'm imagining that's what it is. We're watching hockey tonight, baby. That's all that matters. Devils 5-3, Jeff has, and you know what? Neil would love that prediction too. I'm sure he would. Yeah, it's going to be an electric night, though. I can't wait. I can't stress enough how excited I am to see Neil in the first intermission. I don't even know how well we're going to hear this guy, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, I think maybe kind of jumping into a little bit of the game here. Some of the big changes I think we're going to notice tonight is probably with the New York Rangers. We don't see a lot of changes happening with the New Jersey Devils. You expect Akira Schmidt back in net. He is going to be back in net tonight. Obviously, he's been fantastic these last 3 games. It's been a real problem for the Rangers as of late. Excuse me. And yeah, again, not a lot of changes. If you guys want to know the lineups, for tonight, you do have Thomas Tatar with Nico Hischier and Jesper Bratt. Andre Palat, again, who had a really big part in that Game 5 win against the Rangers the other night on Thursday night, scoring a goal, I believe. I don't know how many points he racked up. I think he had just the 1 goal. But again, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to say a lot of wrong things tonight, stats-wise. Please correct me if I get it wrong, because 99% of the time, that's usually the case. But I'm also just going off my phone. So if anybody's wondering, that's how I'm going to get all these stats, and I'll probably get them up on my TV too. But we're just going to roll with it tonight. We're just going to have fun with it. So we got 4-3 Devils tonight too. I agree. I like it being a close game tonight. I don't expect a blowout, but then again, expect the unexpected. And I totally understand that. Again, I kind of see this going to overtime. I wouldn't love it if it goes to triple, quadruple overtime. Not really excited for that, but you know what? It is what it is. It's all going to be okay. Hopefully you guys checked out our game last night too with Dylan. It was a lot of fun last night. Got on a lot of random topics about food and all this crazy stuff that we got into, and especially from you guys. That's how we kind of got it going. I think we talked about Rick Ross when he was a correctional officer. No idea how it happened, but unfortunately it was kind of a blowout, as Minnesota didn't really show up last night, and Dallas ended up winning the series and is now moving on. So now we kind of know, and we're starting to figure out second round matchups a little bit here. We're starting to see it kind of fall out a little bit. You see the Carolina Hurricanes now or I would say kind of an upset in Game 6 specifically, when they were down 1-0 and all of a sudden come back, boom, overtime, see you later. So Carolina will get the winner of the Rangers and the Devils, whether it ends tonight or whether it ends on Monday night. So, yeah, we got Carolina moving on. We got Dallas already through to the next round. We got Vegas in the next round too. So we're starting to see things kind of fall into place. And I'm kind of hoping for a Game 7 between the Lightning and the Leafs, as I'm sure a lot of you are too. So, yeah, again, great to hear from you guys tonight. Keep leaving comments below. Ask me questions. We're going to have a fun night. It's going to be a long one. But again, make sure you guys are here for intermission, because Neil will be around, and I cannot wait to see what he's up to. I'd also like to see how many drinks he's in. I don't know if he's the type of guy to kind of get into it maybe at a game. I think he kind of talked about it and I don't know about you guys, maybe he just doesn't feel like getting into buying too much beer that's like $45 a cup. I don't blame him, but I'm curious to see how he's feeling going in this. Obviously, he's nervous going in. I also want to ask him and see how many Devils fans that he kind of sees that are in MSG tonight. I got a lot of questions for him. I just want to see how he's doing, and I just hope he's having a fun night tonight. So, again, if you guys got questions and everything, please let me know. Since you're a Calgary fan, I would like to hear your opinion on the new arena. It was well overdue. I've been there a couple times. It's unfortunate that it's gotten to a certain point where it's just unusable, right? You hear from the players, you hear from even the fans too. Like the bathroom situation there, from what I remember, was awful, right? You have one on one end, you have one on the other. It's a total mess there, especially in the locker rooms too. I guess Mackenzie Weegar and other guys were saying there's pipes all up in the ceiling, and it smells bad. It was just getting to a point where it needed to go. I'm excited though, because I've never been to the Calgary Stampede, which is also with this new deal that the city has put in place. They're going to put the massive the Stampede there. They're going to have the new arena there. I really hope that they try to integrate more within where they're putting it. And unfortunately, they are getting rid of the Saddle Dome. So I hopefully won't talk too much about Calgary tonight, but that's just kind of my little opinion. I am not from Calgary. I am from Sudbury, Ontario. I'm about 4 hours north of Toronto. Let me know where you guys are watching from too. I know we kind of mentioned it last night, but it's always nice too. I like to see where everybody is watching from too. Dylan popping in here. Thanks, Dylan, for coming on. Had a lot of fun last night, and hopefully we'll do it again next week. Again, we're getting a lot of the matchups are starting to come into place, which is good. And I'm interested to see, especially from like Hurricanes fans and doing some reading, who they prefer. Do they want the Devils? They see the Rangers struggling a little bit. I'm not really sure who they want, right? I don't think it really matters, really, because they, I can see why they want either team, because, okay, you have Akira Schmidt who's been on fire. You had the Rangers who, yes, they've been struggling, but you expect them at some point to kind of get going, right? So I'm just curious to see who the Hurricanes want, who Dallas wants, who Vegas wants. I'm sure with all the teams, though, it's just about getting to that next step. So unfortunately, not like the Flames here. So it's okay. What else is going on here? Watching from Van City, Vancouver, I'm guessing. It sounds stupid if that's not right. Sean watching from Kentucky here. Nice, very cool. And whereabouts in Kentucky? Because I know it's just the state. I don't want to act stupid here, but it's just going to happen tonight. Knights won LA because they suck. I think I have a different theory. I think the Knights won LA because of Jonathan Quick. I think Quick, Brossois has been fine, and I doubt maybe Quick would get a start. But I'm assuming that if they meet in the second round, if the LA Kings, who I believe play the Oilers in Game 6 tonight, if they somehow meet in game whatever in the next round, I'm assuming that Jonathan Quick would be licking his chops trying to get his hands on the LA Kings, and kind of a weird way how he left, how he got traded over to Columbus and then obviously to Vegas. So let's see what happens. But what else we got? People watching from here. We got it from Erie, Pennsylvania. Weird way to spell it, but I'll take it. I was right. We're 1 for 1 tonight. Actually 1 for 2, but that's okay. Hockey Channel asks, what's your Stanley Cup final prediction? Who versus who? I've got, and again, I'm sorry because I am a Flames fan, and if you are a Flames fan out there, I apologize in advance. I've got the Oilers and the Bruins, even though the Bruins all of a sudden are starting to crumble a little bit. Big score in Game 6. We saw it was 7-5 Florida. Nobody really expected that, especially after Game 5. It was very tight. I'm surprised that all of a sudden Linus Ullmark just fell apart, letting in 7 goals, and makes you wonder if he is going to get the nod for Game 7, or if they're going to go to Jeremy Swayman. But to answer his question there, I got the Oilers and the Bruins. I think that once the Oilers get through LA, I think they're going to manage their way through Vegas. I think they would have a very tough time if Dallas, we were talking about this last night, me and Dylan, if Dallas finds a way to get to the Western Conference Final, they're not going to be an easy out. I think Jake Ottinger's starting to kind of get into his rhythm a little bit, and that Dallas Stars team is not talked about enough. They are very deep and very physical too. So hopefully they do get Joe Pavelski back, but I unfortunately have the Oilers winning the cup. I think if Stuart Skinner can find his way and be a reliable goaltender for the Oilers. I got them winning the Stanley Cup, which is not what you want to hear, but we're here for honesty, and that's what I'm here to give you. So, Andrew, what's going on? Good to have you back again. We got Knights versus Canes in the Stanley Cup final. I would be surprised if Carolina did make the Cup final, because I guess they don't really miss Svechnikov that much. He was a big loss for them right at the end of the year. I believe he's gone for the playoffs, but they seem to be fine without him. They won in 6 games against the Islanders. So, good for Carolina. And I would love the Knights, too, to get to the final just to make everybody else angry. And you know what? As long as the Oilers aren't there, that's okay, too. Allmark has not looked good. Great point, because he was not good in the last game. Even in Game 5, he was very iffy. I haven't watched too much of the series, so maybe you guys can kind of give me a little bit more insight to that. Allmark just hasn't been great. And again, it makes you wonder, are they going to start him in Game 7, or is it going to be Jeremy Swayman in net for that? So, they're singing the national anthem here. They're about to get going here. It is Akira Schmidt. It is Igor Shesterkin tonight. Shesterkin, who clearly called out his teammates. I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch the third period there. I know, again, it was a blowout, but Igor was calling out his teammates, going up right to the bench after he made a save, and was just starting to yell at them, trying to get them going. And we'll see if they can tonight, right? So hopefully, you're going to get some firepower. You really want to see Patrick Kane, again, kind of get going. Panarin, who seems like he's had a lot of opportunities and he just hasn't been able to capitalize on it. The Rangers have to get going. It's a packed house tonight. I think I can see Neil in the corner right at the top, at the very top. Maybe he's on the roof for all we know. I'm kind of, if they do, sometimes they give a good view of the stands, and I'm kind of looking here, a lot of blue shirts. So if Neil more than likely is wearing his Devils jersey tonight, I imagine that we're probably going to see maybe a glimpse of him, but I'll let you guys know. I'm going to try to keep a lookout for him. As they introduced the goalies tonight, Akira Schmidt is 3-0 with a .63 goals against average and a .976 save percentage with 1 shutout. He's the first goalie in franchise history to win his first 3 games in the playoffs. Shesterkin, 2 for 3, 1.75 goals against average with a .938 save percentage. So I didn't think it was his fault really in Game 5. Rangers have to find a way by Akira Schmidt tonight as they're getting ready here at center ice. Shesterkin, I imagine, is going to show up tonight as this place looks buzzing tonight. Rangers starting in line with Kaapo Kakko, Philip Chytil, and Artemi Panarin. We are underway here in Game 6. I guess I should probably bring up the scoreboard. I am using a bit of a different one here just because everybody uses Flash Score, and my laptop's about 18 years old. So whenever I brought Flash Score up earlier, it kept going in and out, and it kept flashing, and it wouldn't stay properly. So this is the best we're going to do tonight. I apologize. I have to get a new laptop soon. I've been told that many times. But you know what? That's okay. This is what we're going to get. And we are underway though here in Game 6 as the line of Kaapo Kakko, Chytil, and Panarin tonight. Kind of mentioned a bit earlier that some of the changes were going to be made for the Rangers as the Devils get a really good chance early on, providing a lot of pressure too. Because I believe Kakko was with Alexis Lafreniere. Artemi Panarin all the way down to the third line tonight. Not what you want ideally if you're the Rangers, especially if you're paying the guy $10 million. That's not what you want. The Devils really haven't made any changes at all. I'm sure that Neil would give you more of that. I just don't follow them enough as the Devils are still in the offensive zone here. Palat with a really good chance, and Shesterkin comes up big again. Palat, you're going to see a lot of him tonight as I got to take a break. I need a drink. This is going to be a long night. Oh, my God. Let me know what we're having tonight. I know it's a Saturday night. This isn't a Monday night playoff game. It's Saturday night. We got to get going here. I don't believe Neil will be having his red wine. I believe he did have it in Game 5. I asked somebody in the chat last night, and I think they said that he was having his red wine in Game 5. So if he's not having it tonight, I completely understand why. Maybe a question for the chat here. Has anybody been to Madison Square Garden? It's something that I want to go to one day, I would hope. But I've been to the Style Dome quite a bit. I've been lucky to go to the Joe Louis Arena and in Buffalo too, which is, I don't know if you call that lucky or not. Devils get a really good chance here. Marino all the way in front. Good save, rebound. Oh, and he hit the crossbar. I think it was Jesper Bratt who just had a wide open net and he hit the crossbar. As the pressure continues for the Devils here in the first 2 minutes into the game, and the Rangers again on their heels tonight, that's got to change. And I don't get it. This is your fourth game where everybody's looking at you and you got to be better. And they just, they haven't shown it tonight. So yeah, this is it's not a good start if you're the Rangers. No red wine. I don't have wine. I don't normally drink wine. If you heard that. I do have wine. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. I do have wine on occasion. It's a white wine, Chardonnay, fancy stuff. On a special occasion, though, like if you're in a fancy setting, maybe you'll have a glass. But normally it's beers and whatever this fancy drink is. It's water. If anybody wants to know, it's okay. Saturday night. But yeah, again, the Rangers, man, they got to get going here. It's a lot of reaching, a lot like we were talking about it in Game 5 a little bit. They just have to get back to the basics, and I don't know if this is really going to help because Gerald Gallant, also a stat here too. The Rangers have won 3 straight home playoff games when facing elimination, so that's a good stat if you're the Rangers tonight. But again, going back to kind of the changes that Gallant was making, just to tell you guys like some of the lineups here, we got Kreider, Zibanejad, and Tarasenko on the first line. You got Lafreniere with Trocheck and Kane. Trocheck, who's been better, I want to say. But again, the one that surprises me is Panarin on that third line. I'm shocked that he's at least not on the second line. And you would think that when they first acquired Kane, that would be a line combination they would go with, and they just haven't. So I don't know if that's what it's been throughout the whole series. I could be wrong, but it is what it is. And then they also have Jimmy Vesey, Gaudreau, and Tyler Mott there to wrap up the offensive lineups for the New York Rangers. The Devils, I think they kept it mostly the same. Lazar, I believe, is on the was up to the third line with McLeod and Nathan Bastian. They're playing with a lot of defenders tonight, it seems. So I think they're playing with 7 defense tonight for the Devils. Again, I could be wrong. Please quote me if I if I get it wrong. But as the first stoppage in play is finally there, and Panarin already looking a little bit flustered. You got to think if the Rangers win tonight, he has to get on the board. So, and they're showing too, just a quick flashback. It was a very quick save from Igor Shesterkin. It was about halfway through the third period, and all of a sudden he just kind of darted to the bench and just started hammering at these guys to get going. And it was a little too late. But the Rangers, they were showing the stats beforehand that they're very good when it comes to elimination games. So don't count these guys out for a second. Stars breaking all kinds of team records this season. It's amazing. Again, I haven't really seen much of Dallas this year. I wish I would have watched more of them because they're so underrated. And from the stuff that I see on Twitter as well, I get a lot of people that are Stars fans on Twitter, and that's just what it seems. That's all I'm getting. That and the Kraken too. I get a lot of that. So, man, this is gonna be a long night. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's gonna be a long one, but that's okay. We'll have fun with it tonight. How was everybody's week? Everybody have a good week? Okay, we're just in commercial break here. So, yeah, we kind of talked about last night when we were on the Dallas Stars Wild stream that man, the Stars are so underrated and a team that just doesn't get talked about enough. As I mentioned previously, Jason Robertson, who gets an early scramble in front here. Devils all over the net here, almost putting it in as Dougie Hamilton has a good chance there. He misses it. Marino, though, at the point, and he can't find the net. I'm not a good commentator, as you can tell. I'm just not going to be as good as Neil. He's been doing it for so long, so I give him a lot of credit. Hey, RJ, how's it going? Thank you for coming on. And I think he's the one that provides a lot of the updates for the scores. So, again, appreciate it if we can hear what's going on with the Lightning and Leafs. I'm always curious to hear from that too. David saying, let's go Devils, as Neil's therapist for probably since game 2 because he was really down. I'm kind of backing him up here, and I probably should have worn black and red for him tonight just because it is a Devils stream. But I won't be doing that, unfortunately, because I have to rep my team. I have to stay true. Another stoppage in play, 14:50 to go, and a penalty coming to the Devils. It is the Devils. Nathan Bastian going in the box. Interference, it looks like. I don't know about you. I don't know some of the signals sometimes, like, okay, the trip, the slash, like some of the stuff is pretty easy to follow, but I'm imagining it's interference. And the Rangers, I was right, it's interference. Early power play here for the New York Rangers. 0 for 14 since their last scored on the power play. I believe that was all the way back in game 3. So you clearly have to see there's going to be a push here. Early test for Akira Schmidt. You got to think that the Rangers are going to have a really good push here. But then again, we've said that the last couple games, and yeah, it just hasn't worked. So again, they make changes tonight. Maybe it works for Panarin. Here you go. 4 for 20 on the power play this whole series. 0 for their last 13. That's not going to work for you. And it all starts with the next one, right? Donald, what's up, Kyle? Thought Neil would be doing this live stream with you or something. He will. As I mentioned at the beginning, Neil is actually at the game tonight. He will be joining us for intermission. And a good chance there from Adam Fox as it is knocked out down the ice. Yeah, he's actually at the game tonight. And I don't know how, but I think it was a last-minute thing that he decided to do. But yeah, he's going to be with us at intermission. And I'm excited for you guys to join us because he'll be at the game. And yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see him and what's going on with him for both intermissions, I believe. But make sure to stick around. So he'll be giving his thoughts on what's transpiring so far, and I can't wait. So yeah, I mean, Luke, clearly big Devils fan, I can tell. If you can't span too, that'd be fantastic. But I get it. I get loving the Devils. It's okay. Everybody, especially from the last couple of games, I've started to see more Devils fans come out of the shadow, especially how bad of a start it was for them after game 1 and 2. But you got to love it going into tonight. So it was 2 minutes for interference. I know I'm going to get something right, and thank God I did. But yeah, he's going to be at the game tonight. So I'm excited to see him. I'm excited to chat with him again. And guys, if this does go to game 7, he will be with us again on Monday night. But I'm just doing him a favor tonight because we wanted to kind of keep this going throughout. So thank you guys for still tuning in. As the Rangers power play with only 12 seconds left, it looks like it's going to be a dud again. So that'll be 0 for 14 now. They'll be 4 for 21 in the series. As, again, the power play kind of went pretty quick, and the refs really letting them play here in the first period as a good shot on net goes wide, and the Devils look to break out the other way as the power play expires. So the Devils, as of recent too, they have responded pretty well, taking bad penalties, but they have responded well in kind with Eric Haula standing in front of the net, nobody really guarding him, and Andre Palat too, who's been an absolute beast too. I expect tonight too will be a major factor for the Devils. So let me guys know what you think. Like, who needs to step up tonight for game 6? Who needs to be that kind of X factor? Does it have to be Panarin? Does he have to score a goal tonight in order for tonight to be a success? Obviously, you have to win, but even for the Devils, does it have to be somebody other than Andre Palat? Are you going to keep riding with Akira Schmidt? Hopefully not, as the Devils get a couple good chances here as low shots, but a couple of good ones here early on in the first. But let me know what you guys think. I want to know what you guys feel like, what needs to happen here in game 6 for kind of both sides to be successful here. So definitely if you're the Rangers, man, you gotta, it's not good with this power play, and especially when you acquire guys late in the season, it might take a while for this chemistry to get going. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does take a little bit, but you don't want it to happen, especially right now when the playoffs are going on. You'd rather see something like that towards the end of the season, and it's not good. So the Bruins need to win tomorrow. You think the Bruins can win tomorrow? I'll answer that in a sec. Gotta take my magical water there. I think I said this back in game 5 that I'm still not concerned yet. It's amazing that we're at this point. I'll say that. Phenomenal job for what Florida's done. I mean, Bobrovsky has been standing on his head, and he is probably one of the bigger reasons, I would imagine, that they're at this point. Not only him, but Matthew Tkachuk too, who scored 2 goals. I think Barkov scored last night. They were getting goals from everybody as they scored 7. So yeah, like, I think I think they can. I don't imagine the Bruins losing 3 in a row. I mean, anything can happen. We've seen it before with Tampa back in 2019, but I don't see it happening. I really don't. I imagine Bobrovsky's going to get the start, but it's going to be interesting to see if it's going to be Allmark in net. And if he doesn't perform well, are you going to look at the bench, look at the coach, and go, maybe we should have stuck Swayman in, right? So I don't know. You guys let me know what you think, because I think it could go either way. Still, game 7, anything can happen. I would still feel a little bit more confident that the Bruins can still get it done here. Rangers with a good chance here as it's blocked. And you know what? Oh, sorry. I thought Banachek was in net for a second there. I'm like, wait, what? I don't know everybody's numbers still, but no, it's good to see that Schmidt's playing well, man. He's I don't know if you guys saw the like his journey to the playoffs. It's been unbelievable. Like, I think it was USHL for a couple of years, ECHL for a year, AHL for 2 years. Like, he's definitely worked his way up the ladder, and clearly Neil was happy about him. So Jonas asking where Neil is. I know I shouldn't be here. I'm sorry. I'm doing him a favor. He's at the game tonight. He will be here for intermissions 1 and 2, maybe even the overtime intermission if that happens. He's at the game. He'll be checking in with us, and we'll kind of see how he's doing there. I'm just excited to kind of just get a chance to talk to him and just see how much fun he's having. So it's going to be good. Still no score there in Tampa, about halfway through the game here. How confident are you guys that Tampa can get the job done tonight, or do the Leafs finally finish the series tonight? That's I don't know, man. It's still no score. Again, I was watching a bit of the first period. I was kind of seeing that Tampa was putting a lot of pressure on Samsonov, but he was standing tall, right? So he was playing very well for a guy who has been okay the last couple of games. Samsonov's been really good, and then Vasilevsky too. He had to make 1 or 2 crucial saves, but then we had to jump onto this stream, so it's okay. I don't mind it. I really sometimes I just don't want to watch Leaf games anymore when it comes to these, because I don't know. I'm always intrigued with other teams and how well they're doing, and he scores. Devils on the board. It's Curtis Lazar. Just over 10 minutes in the first period, it is Lazar. Sorry, just under 10 minutes in the first. It is Lazar at the doorstep. It is 1-0 New Jersey. Wow, that's a big rebound if you're Shesterkin there. Just looking at the replay, Devils very easily getting into the offensive zone. It's the McLeod and Lazar line that I mentioned a bit earlier, and Lazar just right there on the doorstep. Nobody covering him. The physicality, again, I think that's been a problem for the Rangers in this series, as all of a sudden the Devils jump out again to an early 1-0 lead, and Neil, I'm sure, is out of his seat right now, and hopefully not getting stared at by too many Rangers fans, because we just want him to be safe and we want him to be happy, and it's going to be good. So, man, he must be excited. What a start for the Devils. Watching the game with Steve Dangle, it looks like the momentum has shifted somewhat and the Leafs are looking more threatening. I would hope so. Again, I kind of watched the last little bit, and they had the power play from, I can't remember who got the penalty, but all of a sudden the Leafs were really pressing, and you got to think that first goal of the game is going to be huge, right? And sometimes you think like, okay, they're in 8 minutes left in the second period, no score. You're at that point in the game and you go, okay, first goal is going to mean the world. But then again, the Leafs came back from down 3 goals, and the Oilers have done it before, so it's going to be it's going to be interesting to see who scores first in that game. More specifically, it was Curtis Lazar at the doorstep as we go to commercial break here. A guy that you don't think would normally get on the board, former Calgary Flame, he's been a travel man around the league. Curtis Lazar gets on the board, and the Devils lead 1-0 early on, guys. So I'll take the scoreboard off for a second here. Let's take a bit of a break. Thoughts so far in the chat. Jersey, obviously, with a great start, noticing a lot of pressure. And again, the power play for the Rangers just isn't working. So just wanted to think what you guys think so far. We're going to get Neil's full reaction too after the first. I'm going to ask what his reaction was at, when Curtis Lazar, of all people, scored. But yeah, let me guys know what you think so far of the game going on. Just read my message. I watched a replay of Bulls very, very nearly scoring the first goal. They almost did that a couple times in the first. again, I haven't seen what the Leafs have been able to do, so I'm just going to trust your word and believe you. But yeah, and I think just kind of quickly looking, if you guys were wondering about that game, shots are 16-14. It's pretty even so far. I mean, it is 0-0, so of course it's even. But yeah, again, that first goal is going to be absolutely huge. So Danelle at work, so not watching the game. We'll catch some of it when he gets home from work. Hopefully, you can catch around the third period. Hopefully, you can come around second intermission too, because we got Neil joining us for both intermissions. And yeah, Connor says it perfectly here. A good look to Neil finding a quiet area to talk. I told him, I said, look, whatever happens, if they win, great. If they lose, it's okay. Just I've done it before where been on the losing end. And I was in Detroit at the Joe Louis Arena, and we lost in overtime. This was like 12 years ago. And I just kind of did the thing of, okay, I'm going to put my jacket on, do the zipper up. Yeah, go Red Wings and see you later. And missing a bus, too, to go back, because we stayed in Windsor, if you guys are familiar with the geography side of it. We had to take a bus back over to Windsor after the Detroit game. And we were standing outside waiting for it for about 10 minutes, and it's not the most comfortable feeling in the world because it is Detroit. I know there's a lot of mixed reviews on it, but yeah, it's a little eerie, that's all. So maybe more for Neil, I think it's about the fans more than the city itself. So just want him to be safe and want him to have a fun time because I know how crazy it can get, especially with a series like the Devils and the Rangers, how they're so close to each other. I'm sure there's stories that have been breaking out, and probably not good ones, but also Akira Schmidt, 85 saves so far with only letting in one goal in his last 3 games, and including this period so far. He's been absolutely on fire, and I don't blame the Devils for continuing with that as the series and as the playoffs kind of go along. Need the Devils win for my birthday. James, happy birthday. How old are we turning? And also, you're just coming to watch me tonight on your birthday? I appreciate it. I really do. Danelle says, who do you got winning the 2-game 7s tomorrow? Panthers, Bruins, Kraken, Avalanche. I do have the Bruins. I know I talked about it a little bit earlier on. I got the Bruins winning that. I don't know what the score is going to be, but I'm sticking with the Kraken that I picked at the beginning of the playoffs. I picked it to go 6. It's kind of sad that they didn't really generate a lot of offense in game 6. But yeah, I think I still like the Kraken. I don't know why. I think they're that kind of team that you feel like is going to upset as the Devils are pressing again. Good shot, blocked, goes to the side. Dawson Mercer there now. I believe that's Timo Meier too that he's with. I mean, Neil knows these guys off by heart too because you can see the number for your team and you're like, oh yeah, that's this guy. As Shesterkin covers up, it's 6:14 to go. Guys, we are 6 minutes away from Neil joining us. Don't worry, it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. Leafs getting on the board now with Austin Matthews. If the Leafs are going to win this series, it's got to be on the stick of him, right? So it's 1-0, but it's okay. It's early. We know what the Leafs have done in the past. It's early. We'll see what happens. James is turning 27. James, I'm 1 year younger, 26, and we're still feeling young. So happy birthday, man. Hope you have a great night. And again, thank you for joining. Thank you for coming on. And hopefully you stick around for intermission because I can't wait. And hopefully I'm going to text Neil soon. I'm just going to ask him just to triple check and make sure that he's still good to come on. So if you don't mind me giving a minute, just want to see here real quick. Steve says Devils by 2 goals tonight. So we'll keep that in mind. And we'll kind of come back to that too as the third period comes along. Don't mind me. I'm just making sure that Neil is coming on tonight. I'd love to see if he just doesn't show up tonight. I hype it up for no reason. So it's I hope he does. Hey, are you still coming on at intermission? On at intermission. I can't type tonight. Hopefully we'll hear back from him. He's probably too much into the game right now, but stick around. He should be here at intermission, so it's gonna be good. A couple of guys only 15. That's okay. You guys are still in school. It's a Saturday night. It's all good. School's somewhat coming to an end for you guys, I guess. It's being weird being out of school, having graduated. I'm seeing the golden now. Sorry by Matthews here. It was a good shot, man. That's a tough, like for any goalie, that's tough too from that point. You just leave him that much room on the right side, quick one-timer and just roast it top corner. That's That's who he is, right? So I'm a little shocked that it's only 1-0, regardless of who would have scored it. And I totally forgot to add the live score back on here. See what I mean? I'm not tech savvy. I keep forgetting these things. So it's important, though. You guys need to know what's going on. So Devils win the draw here with 6 minutes to go here in the first period, as the Rangers, man, again, they're playing on their heels. They're not playing well defensively. And if you look back at some of their highlights, too, on some of these goals, you just haven't seen a lot of physicality in front of the net when it comes, like Keandre Miller and Jacob Trouba. They're just letting these guys kind of stand there in front of the net and not push them around and not do anything. So it's unfortunate to see. Got a message from Neil. He says he will be jumping on in a minute or two. Pretty loud in the building. I'm not surprised. I am not surprised at all. So he might be jumping on earlier than we expected, guys. He might be on just before the period ends, so make sure you stick around. And I might take a break just because normally we do breaks during intermission. I might take a break kind of at the end-ish of the intermission, so don't freak out. I'll try to make it back still for the start of the second. This is just something that we're doing a little differently. So Steve says Rangers kind of look like they don't care. Fair. It's fair. Obviously, I think they do care, but obviously physically it looks like they don't care, which is understandable, right? The physical presence hasn't been there. The chemistry has been all over the place. I mean, it says a lot when you're putting your 10 million Artemi Panarin on the third line. It's not a good sign, right? You expect him to play first, second line, so you don't really want to see him there, as the Rangers are finally getting going here, and Schmidt just pushes that aside. So outside of maybe one chance here, Akira Schmidt hasn't been tested tonight, and that's not good if you're the Rangers. A lot of the fans there, a lot of blue shirts there tonight, seem pretty quiet. So don't mind me again, just kind of looking to see. We do have Neil. It's 100% true that he is coming on tonight. Sometimes you think in the back of your head that he's just not going to do it, but that's okay. We're getting him on soon, guys. Don't worry, as Schmidt covers it up with 4:17 to go in the first. It is Curtis Lazar with the first goal of the night as we go to commercial. Curtis Lazar with the opener, and all good. Yeah, and the Devils lead. So explore a world of hockey in Minecraft. I don't know if you guys are big Minecraft fans. I'm not, but hunt down special. What the hell? Okay, this has got to be new. You can do mini games. That's bizarre. I don't know if this is like some new update that they have, but Minecraft all of a sudden is like getting involved in hockey. Yeah, Hockey Land. Is that new? Or is that like for the 15-year-olds out there? I'm sure there's more people older than that play it too. Is that new? It's got to be. If they're putting a commercial out for it, it's got to be new. I know I have a lot of friends who are big Minecraft players. I'm not. I'm more of the I'm a Star Wars type guy. So I say that because the new game came out yesterday, in the Jedi Survivor, I think it was called. So I'm excited to play that. I'm excited to play it when I get the chance. But yeah, that's gotta be new. That's weird. I've never seen that before. Hockey truly fascinates me. I've seen more away wins than home wins in the sport than I have ever seen in any other sport. Why does the home team struggle at home? Especially, I think, if you're the Devils, just as an example, if you're the Kraken too, it's the first time in a while, you haven't been at home. Sometimes too, it's not nerves, it's too much excitement, right? You're not playing level-headed. You kind of get away from whatever game plan that they have. And that's why sometimes, especially for the Devils here, they just needed to get away from their home and just go into an atmosphere like this and just really settle down to what they were structured to do in the first place. So it means blocking more shots. It means, carrying it out of the neutral zone. It means winning those neutral zone battles. It means winning those defensive battles, which they have been doing a lot throughout this whole series. So, yeah, like you don't see, especially like with Boston too, they haven't been that successful at home. The Panthers have won twice now, I think, in Boston. I don't think it's nerves. I don't think that has to play a lot into it. Whether you want to argue playoff experience has a lot to play with it too, that's a fair point. I just think it comes down to, it's a lot of excitement. You're in front of your home fans, and sometimes you just kind of stay away from it. So I'm sure there's a lot of variables that have a reason, to give. But Yeah, that's just my thoughts. But everybody has their own different opinion, and I fully respect it. But yeah, I mean, and maybe it is nerves. Maybe there are some young guys on there who have nerves. So I totally understand when you have at least 18,000 people cheering you on. It'd be tough to be on your game 24/7. So thank God I'm not doing it because I couldn't. Right. I haven't played in a while. That kind of pays into factor too. The Devils have changed up a bit of their lines too, so the Devils have kind of been doing that all season long. Neil was mentioning that too. That's just something that Lindy Ruff does. Like he halfway through the game, all of a sudden he just changes the lines for whatever reason, and all of a sudden he just kind of it's just if it works, great. If it doesn't, whatever, right? So I'm not surprised that they kind of do that pretty frequently. So Danil, as a local fan that watches hockey in the New York area, we didn't watch the Islanders game against the Hurricanes, and it sucks that they lost of a stupid turnover and a fluke lucky goal. Yeah, I watched the highlights of it. It is unfortunate, but you got to be happy with their performance. I think still, it wasn't. I think they should have won. I don't know if it was game one or game two of that series. The Islanders definitely probably should have at least pushed it to 7 games. But in my eyes, they're a young team. I still think of a lot to go with them going forward with Sorokin and net, and getting Horvat as the Devils get a good chance in front, and it's battered away as they're peppering them with shots now. And the Rangers are again just playing dump and chase here. They can't get anything going here as it was Tatar who had a really good chance there. So Preston saying, let's go Rangers here. They need to find a way to get back into it. Certainly no quit, but it seems like the last couple of games they haven't gotten going, and they've only had 3 minutes of time in the offensive zone. That's if you don't count the power play. So that is a big deal. And, Gerald Gallant has to say something in intermission too. And we'll have something to say with Neil, who is coming on very shortly, guys. 2 minutes left in the first period. It is 1-0 New Jersey. The shots are 9-7 in this one. Let me ask you, if this local team in the New York metropolitan area, Islanders lose to the Hurricanes, do you see the Devils or the Rangers beating them? No. I don't think I said this to Neil, but no. I don't think the Hurricanes are missing Svechnikov too much. I think Rod Brind'Amour has that team very well prepared. I imagine Akira Schmidt is going to falter at some point. Whether, hey, if he plays great tonight, he might falter in the second round. It wouldn't be surprising. But if the Rangers can't get their you-know-what together, I don't know if they're going to have, are they going to be like this throughout the second round? It's going to be interesting to see what they kind of do. So I would take the Hurricanes, but upsets happen for a reason. So that's just me. Damn, 7-2 Devils on the faceoffs too. Rangers have to fix that. Mika Zibanejad, who's good early on for faceoff draws, has just gone quiet. But yeah, I think Neil too was telling me a little bit more about his team, that Michael McLeod had some sort of record, or he was leading in a stat in faceoffs. Like he was one of their best faceoff man, I think, in all of the NHL this year. So yeah, like that's something that you need, right? So I wonder how many draws Michael McLeod has taken tonight, and has won those. So 1-0 Leafs at the end of 2. 54 people on the chat tonight. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. We will be having Neil on very shortly, so hopefully you guys can stick around for that. He'll be here at first intermission and second intermission, and I'm going to try to entertain you guys as much as possible, doing him a favor tonight. So be ready for Neil. He's going to be absolutely electrified after this first period. From a goal from Curtis Lazar, which I really want to know how he feels. So it's going to be good to see. FPHL Hockey, thank you for coming on again. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for coming on. Make sure to like and subscribe, and go check out some podcasts that we have on our website. I was a busy man this week. We got a lot more podcasts who were joining the network, and I'm excited to introduce them. 58 seconds left here. You got a breakaway here. It's going to be Patrick Kane all alone, tripped up on a breakaway. And is that a penalty shot? It is. He hasn't made a call yet. It's tripping, and there's no call of the penalty shot. He was in all alone, and Kane looks dumbfounded. As 53 seconds left, the Rangers are going to go on a power play. Dawson Mercer just dove at Kane. He got the puck away, but he took Kane down in the process. Mercer looks pissed. I don't know why he is. He fully tripped Kane on that. He maybe sold it a little bit, but that's going to get called all day long, as I am shocked that's not at least a penalty shot. So Mercer goes to the box, 53 seconds left. The Rangers had a really good chance. I think Rangers fans might be a little pissed about the fact that it's not a penalty shot. Sometimes that's a bit of a gray area because in my eyes, like the guy has to be all alone, especially when he passes the blue line. And it seemed like Kane had the separation from Mercer, so I'm kind of surprised that it wasn't. And again, maybe not the best time to have a power play too, with about 53 seconds to go. Yeah, because you have a chance or two maybe here with the final 50 seconds. Then you got to stop. It kills the momentum. You start the second period. You'll probably have about a minute left here as we'll come back to the comments in a minute here, but let's focus on here the last 40 seconds here as Adam Fox finds Kreider, Tarasenko, and Panarin had a chance in front. Just couldn't get the stick on it. They go back. Fox with 30 seconds to go. Back to the points. Zibanejad goes across to Panarin. Back to Fox to Zibanejad, and he scores from the point. Mika Zibanejad with 24 seconds left from the point and might have gotten tipped in front. And we are tied at 1 with 24 seconds to go. And finally, the Rangers power play has executed, and that is a massive momentum boost going into the second period. What a shot by Zibanejad as the Rangers finally get on the board. Now they're 5 for 17 on the power play. So great shot though. Good passing at the front. I don't think Akira Schmidt saw it because I think it was tipped in front. It looked like it was. Gee, let's play trivia here, guys. Who do you think tipped the puck in front for the New York Rangers? Answer: it was Chris Kreider. And it looks like that's what it was. It was either him or Tarasenko. I believe it was Chris Kreider. But I just saw Aaron Rodgers in the stands. I'm not kidding you. I got to go back a second here. I just saw Aaron Rodgers in the stands. He's sitting there with, I think that's Sauce Gardner. But it's like bottom of the screen. I just got him. It's definitely Aaron Rodgers. So there you go. If you're a football fan, you got Aaron Rodgers too. And I better tell Neil when he gets on, guys. He'll be on any second as we are at the first intermission here. I might tell Neil real quick. I'm going to take a break. A quick break here. I will take a break. And then when we come back, we'll get Neil on. Hopefully he goes to a quiet area, guys. Thank you for coming on for the first period. We will have Neil's reaction, guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll be right back with... Oh, Again, not the most tech savvy guy, but we're back. Just giving us a second here. Just had to send Neil the link, and he should be in here momentarily. We'll just give him a chance, as it's a little bit crazy trying to get up into the stands. We'll give him a chance here to make sure he gets on okay. I'm just gonna have my phone on me to make sure that that he has everything okay. But while we are waiting, first period ends, and the Rangers answer with 24 seconds left in the first. It was, I believe, I can look at it again. I think it was Chris Kreider who managed to tie it on a tip, unless they are giving it to Zibanejad. No, they gave it to Chris Kreider, as it was assisted by Zibanejad and Adam Fox. So the Rangers respond with very quickly with on that power play, and I'm glad that's something they were able to capitalize on. And very successful power play finally by the New York Rangers. So let me guys know what you think of the first period, how it went so far, and what we need to see kind of going in the second period here. Are you guys like in a Zoom call or something? No, this is just we use a site called StreamYard, and I just give him the link for it, and he just comes in, and he should pop in momentarily, guys. So we'll just give him a chance here. And speaking of which, why, hello.
I can barely hear you, by the way, just so you know that up front. But I am here. I am here.
Okay. How was the first period?
Honestly, when you look at the way the Devils started the game, and I think you look at the majority of the first, Devils were the better team. It's just a lack of discipline in the first 20 minutes. Right. I mean, you have 3 penalties, with the third one obviously right at the end of the period. And obviously, the Rangers scored on the power play, which has been a big thing for them so far in this series. And, they're playing in front of a raucous crowd. It is raucous here at the Garden right now. But I think overall, I like how the Devils have played. They just got to take a deep breath, regroup, and understand, look, it's a 1-1 game. A lot of hockey left to go in this one.
Yeah, for sure. It sucks 24 seconds left, but you have to expect that you're going to have a really good second period coming up. How's the atmosphere so far? How's everything going?
The atmosphere is nuts. It is loud. It is awesome. It's honestly been such a fun experience. I mean, I'm sitting with mostly Rangers fans, which is to be expected. Yeah. But it's been honestly a lot of fun, man. I'm really enjoying myself. I'm still nervous. I mean, we're already well into the game, but you know what? Again, worst case scenario, we don't get it done tonight. We got Game 7 on Monday. I know that's ridiculous to say, but again, 1-1 game. You got the first goal. Still a lot of hockey left to play.
You got it. Yeah, for sure. Everybody was looking forward to seeing you at first intermission. They really hope they can see you again at second intermission, because everybody was asking where they were, and they were looking at me for the whole first period. So, what did you think of Akira Schmidt kind of settling in? Are you nervous for him in the second?
I'm definitely a little bit nervous just because the Rangers are starting the period on the power play. Right. Not the best way you want to get the period going. But I think Akira Schmidt has been fine so far. He looks calm, does not look phased. I think this team believes. I think they really do believe that they can win this game. I think they got to look at the first 20 minutes and say that they were the better team. Right. But, sometimes the better team doesn't always win. But again, you still have 40 minutes left to go. You got to keep pressing. The top guys haven't really gotten going yet, although they've come close. Curtis Lazar, of all people, gets the game's first goal. But you know what? You're going to see that in games like this. So, gotcha. I'm still relatively nervous, but not as nervous as I was before.
Okay, good. Here, question here. Just gotta look. No, look on the screen. The question. We got a question from Jeff.
So, I think I see it here. What's up, Neil? How are the seats? Seats are good. There might be a way that I can flip my camera. I'm not sure if I can. I don't think I can, actually.
That's okay.
I'll do this really quick.
Okay. Oh, that's sick. You can see everything from there.
So, yeah, I mean, that's about the best I could see. I don't know if you guys can still hear me or not, but those are my seats for the night.
Yeah, no, it looks good. We'll let you go, though. I know it's kind of hard to hear, but hopefully you'll come back here in the second intermission.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be back in the second intermission, and hopefully it'll be a little bit more positive for the Devils after the next 20 minutes. But I'll be back on a little bit later. All right, guys?
Awesome. Excited to see you. Have fun. Have fun. Awesome. He's got great seats, man. Awesome seats, man, and great to see him on there. I know it was kind of short, guys, but it's I don't want to see that. Wait, there we go. Now we're good. Yeah, it's great to see him, guys, and I know it was kind of short, but it is hard to hear in there. The atmosphere is electric, as one can assume. But yeah, I can understand why he's nervous. It is close. It's tight. It's something that you don't want going into the end, going into the first intermission. I know he said that they're on the power play at the beginning of the second. I think that the power play is over because obviously the Rangers scored. So unless something happened at the end of the first intermission, which I don't think anything did, I believe that it's going to be 5-on-5 to start the second period. I just wanted to see how what his thoughts were with Akira Schmidt. I just wanted to see kind of if he's going to be rattled going into the second, but we only let the one in, and maybe the Rangers found something though that they might be able to build off of. So he looks like he's having a time and a half, and again now you see him surrounded by all these Rangers fans, and I'm like, yeah, you had fun with that, which is why it's nice to go to away games, but just know that I'm sure he's got stories already, and I'm sure he's gonna have the consequences. So Neil, what's up? Good luck to the Devils. He's having a lot of fun, it looks like, guys. He's got a huge smile on his face, and what I would give to try to be there for just for any playoff game would be it's on the bucket list. I'm definitely going to go to one day. Maybe it's in New Jersey, who knows. As a sad Islanders fan, I need the Devils to win or I will be mentally unstable. Yeah, I think a lot of people, it's a good mix. I mean, from what I've seen as the series has transpired, at the very beginning, there was a lot of Rangers fans, the odd Devils fan that came in. But I think as the series kind of kept going, we're starting to see about 50-50 almost as we go to the first intermission here. It's still going on. They have PK Subban here at our first intermission. We kind of talked about food last night, and I was really craving pizza tonight. I want to know, are you guys crust people? Because I'm not. I'm one of those losers who will eat everything but the crust. It depends on where it's from, though. That's all I can say. I had a massive food conversation last night that just went completely bonkers. But for those of you who are in Canada, had a nice little Timmy's this morning. I'm a dark roast type of guy. If you need to know anything about me, the cheese crust is the only crust that I will go for. That's a great choice. Other than that, yeah, I mean, sometimes it depends. Like, I don't like it when there's no sauce on it. It gets a little too hard. It's a little tough on the teeth sometimes. But, if you're a couple beers in, if you're a couple drinks down, it's going to taste like the most wonderful thing in the world. Want to know what you guys think, though, after the first period? You got a chance to see Neil there. You will see him again here at the second intermission. I might try to get him at the end of the game. I don't know if it's possible just because people leaving, that sort of thing. But I'm sure you guys can listen to his full recap after Game 6 on the Devils State of Mind podcast. You guys should go check that out too if you get the chance, and go follow him on Twitter. I will leave it up later on the Twitter feeds to go follow him, and if you want, you can follow me. You don't have to. I don't do a lot. I'm very new to Twitter, so I try to post what I can, and it's a lot of sometimes work-related stuff because it is hockey. It's my job, and yeah, hopefully you guys can check us out too on the THPN YouTube channel and our website too. So we got a lot of live streams still going on too. We got another one going on tomorrow night. If you guys were asking about Bruins Panthers earlier, there will be a live stream tomorrow night for the Bruins versus Panthers. I believe Matt from the Sensationals or Centennials, I apologize if I keep butchering the name. It's not a great Ottawa Senators podcast. If you guys want to go listen to that too, he will be doing it, I believe, with somebody else. I'm not sure yet. He will be covering the Panthers and the Bruins Game 7. You best know that we are going to do Game 7 if it comes to that on Monday night. And sorry, they're mine and mine only. Sorry, no OnlyFans coming from me anytime soon. As Jeff says, my neighbor had seats right behind the goal. Brutal. Couldn't see crap, and he paid a pretty decent penny. So let's talk about this. The worst seats to sit in an arena, your general arena. You got behind the net. You got right behind the bench, right? When you get the camera view and you see the coach and then you see the people like right there. What are you going to look at? You're going to look at the back of people's heads. You might get a couple of ass shots here, left, right, and center. And that's about it. that's all you're gonna get. I think for me, having been to, I can't say from experience because I've only been to a couple of games, but I'm a corner of the stadium type of guy. I like just kind of getting a whole view of the ice. That's all I really want. A really good example, actually, is, believe it or not, it is the Ottawa Senators Stadium. As bad as a location as it is, being 20, 30 minutes away from Ottawa and being in the middle of nowhere, you can sit anywhere in that arena and you get a fantastic view outside of behind the net, which, I mean, even if you're behind the net, it's not that bad because you still get to see like them being in the offensive zone, like whoever it is, and they get good shots on net here and there. And you're up close. So that I can kind of understand a little bit. But for me, what kills me is the one behind the bench. I hate it because you don't see anything. I don't know. Let me guys what you think. Where do you like to sit at the arena? Again, I'm a corner of the stadium type of guy, but I just want a spot where I can see the entire arena there. So Jeff goes on to say, I always love pizza bones. Is that what it's called? Not a fan at all. It needs sauce. Definitely. 100% agree. When it comes to sauce, I'm weird. I like honey garlic sometimes. So you get like a little dipping sauce can or container that they give you. I like honey garlic. And if you haven't tried it, give it a whirl and see for yourselves. Once I went to Citi Field, home of the baseball Mets, and I got seats behind home plate, like the exact row that borders the field, and the players block me. That's what I mean. Sometimes in a lot of these stadiums, whether it's hockey, maybe not football, because I think you're still fairly far away. But yeah, you don't want to be looking at players' asses or back of their heads. It's like you want to see the action. You're there to see the game, and you're there to sometimes to interact with the players. I got a great story afterwards, maybe because I live near the I used to live near the Blue Jays home stadium, but I got a great story to tell you afterwards. I want to get through the comments here real quick. I feel like I haven't done that in a while. I wanted to get to this one here. The Rangers are playing much better than they have in the past few games. I'm hoping for the Devils to win this series, yet I don't think this will win. This win will be handed to us on a golden plate. It won't be on either side. It's going to be tough regardless wherever you see it. So one of these guys are going to have to earn it tonight. That's what it's going to come down to. So I completely agree with that. Good luck to both teams, man. It's going to be a fantastic finish to this game. It's only 1-1. There's no reason to be nervous for both sides. I know Neil's very nervous right now. We'll get another update from him at the end of this, at the second intermission. Can't wait to hear from him again. He looks like he's having a blast. It's going to be good. So he always likes the second deck and upper deck. Fair enough. Yeah, and you know what? They're cheap. You get to have a good time if you go with some friends. It's a good time too. So I don't blame you. He also said ramped tickets right behind the goalpost. Oh God! But again, like I find with football, like the closer that you are might be a little better because you aren't, depending how the stadium's structured, you're not necessarily sometimes blocked by people. Again, I can't speak because I haven't been to an NFL game. We have the CFL. Ooh, fancy. Not great, but I mean, people in Saskatchewan happen to like it, so whatever floats their boat. I sit in the middle of the ice at my hockey games in the regular season and by the bench during the playoffs to see all the players and met them all. Yeah, like I think if that's what you want, if you want to experience like being right beside the players and being right there, I totally get it, right? If you're there casually for like a regular season game, you want to see the whole ice. You want to see everything that's kind of going on. So yeah, no, I agree with that too. I just think when it comes to the one spot specifically for hockey, it's right behind the bench because you can't see anything, right? And they sometimes like lift you up a little bit just to kind of try to get you to see over, but it's still a tough look regardless at the end of the day. What's my go-to pizza? It used to be Domino's. For the longest time, it used to be Domino's just because they have awesome deals. And then after a while, you kind of get it where like, if you have something for consecutive number of times, you get sick of it after a while. I would say Domino's, but we had a really good place. I used to live in a small town called Orangeville, and we had a place called Johnny's Pizza, and they had the greasiest pizza ever. That's where I got all my acne. But they had a party-sized pizza. It was like $30. It was this massive thing where you get the nice pieces that are like right in the middle too. And for me, I'm not a crust guy, so those were always the best. But the greasier it is, like the cheese falls off, you get all the sauce that goes with it. It's nice and hot out of the box. I really like the local places that wherever I go. I like trying the local pizzerias just because I find you get sometimes a better experience. Not all the time, but I think you get a better experience from that. But then again, that's just me. So, sorry, I just wanted to go to that one here. Worst possible seats have to be where at Wrigley Field or Fenway you get blocked by a pole that holds up the upper decks. Fair. I think it'd still be cool to, especially Fenway and Wrigley Field, man. Those are just dream fields to be at, right? So I'm sure, right behind the poles, that's not great. I mean, if a ball comes your way, that might be the only thing that you might be looking forward to. But no, I agree with that as well. I spent $200 plus on tickets for the regular season tickets and our $10 for regular season. What am I talking about right now? $200 plus on tickets for the regular season. Tickets are $10 for the regular season, and I spent about $120 on playoff tickets. It's a lot cheaper. I'll just say it's a lot cheaper than what it is here. If you guys are familiar with the CHL, so the Canadian Hockey League, with your Ontario Hockey League, Western Hockey League, the Quebec Major Juniors, you can go to a game for $20, and it's phenomenal. I used to live near Guelph, so when the Guelph Storm, they went on a ridiculous run in 2014, and I was very lucky to see McDavid play at the time in the playoffs, and it was $20 a ticket, and it's phenomenal hockey. So, Jeff, fair. Everybody's got their own opinion. As I should stop talking because we got the puck drop. We're underway here in the second period. The Rangers did start with a power play. So if anybody can tell me what that was, I totally missed it. I have no idea what the penalty was for. I might be able to pull it up here as, it was Andre Palat for tripping. It was right at the end, and I think they just let the period run out. So the Rangers start the period with the power play. Neil was right. So good on them. As again, it's not good if the Rangers did find something early on in that power play. That's not something that you want, but another test coming the Devils' way as we are 1-1 entering the second period. And I believe the Tampa Bay Lightning have tied it. So we are tied at 1 in Tampa Bay. That is true. It was Steven Stamkos, assisted by Darren Radish, with 15 minutes to go. Keep me up to date, guys. That game is maybe almost done unless they go to overtime. So that's exciting there. Danelle asked who scored for the Rangers and how the Devils made the mistakes. Chris Kreider tipped it in and off a good shot from Mika Zibanejad on the power play. And the Devils, a couple times in the box. They were in the box 3 times in the first period. You can't do that to a team that's just been trying to get this top power play unit going. As Panarin tries to find Kreider at the side there, he can't, and tries to bring it back to the point as their top power play unit is back on the ice again. Panarin looks like he's back in it. He's energized a little bit more. Zibanejad too, who I thought had the first goal. So they have Schittle, Kreider, Panarin, Zibanejad, and Fox trying to tip it in front, and it just stays in. Fox keeps it in. So no Patrick Kane on the first power play unit. What a good save up by Schmidt. He just saw it there at the last second with a glove. Fox shot goes wide. Zibanejad right behind the net, flips it back to the point. It is Schittle again. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, I apologize. Goes right across. Panarin right in front. Great stop. Siegenthaler with a great stick to just knock that puck away. It could have been a wide open net for Chris Kreider as the penalty is over. And the Devils kill a big power play there. They didn't want to get the momentum back to the Rangers as a big kill there for New Jersey. The Rangers still pressing, though, and Schmidt covers it up with 17:36 to go. So a big kill there for the Devils as things start to settle down 5-on-5. If I don't get to everybody's comments tonight, I apologize. Trying to get us engaged here as they do give us a studio update here from the Lightning and the Leafs here. It was Steven Stamkos. They were not on the power play. It was just a shot from the point and a really bad rebound by Samsonov with 15 minutes left. All of a sudden, momentum seems like it's going to go the way of Tampa Bay. We'll see how that game ends because it's always crazy in Leafland. The old Blues Arena was an outstanding place to watch a game. New stadium, not so good. When was the last time that they changed stadiums? I don't know if it was recent or not, but I'm just curious as to when the last time that was. Captain asked if the Rangers win this series, their chances of winning against the Hurricanes, in my opinion, are very slim. However, Florida was able to miraculously pull off the win against Boston. Guys, it's the playoffs. Things happen, right? Records in the regular season and all that mean absolutely nothing, as the Rangers are still pressing here early on in this second period. I would still give the Rangers a chance, maybe not slim, just because things happen. It's the playoffs, right? If the Rangers, again, can find their way and maybe find some chemistry now as the game goes on, maybe it's something different, but I do like what the Rangers have done so far, and they got to keep it going, though. That's the whole thing. So, Jacob, 15 minutes left in the other game, too. Now we got about 13 minutes, but 2 minutes ago, you were right. So, Jeff, thank you. I'm trying to do my best. It's my first time doing it alone. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you. If you do like it, go give us a like and make sure to subscribe, even though you're already commenting. I really do appreciate it, and I appreciate you spending a Saturday night with me. Again, doing this for Neil because we wanted to keep this going. He was going to be at the game, and I'm very happy to do it for him. And I'm glad you guys are enjoying it so far, I hope. Devils going back in the box. It's Andre Palat going in again. He just got out of the box for tripping at the end of the first period here. We're going to get a chance to see what it was, and it's slashing on Keandre Miller as Palat, again, for the second time in, 5 minutes? All of a sudden, the Rangers back on the power play. This is going to be their fourth power play of the game as Palat goes in for slashing. Should take over THPN and do every Golden Knights game. We want to do more of the Western games. So we did one last night with the Dallas Stars and the Minnesota Wild. The tough thing for me on my end, it's probably easier for Dylan, but those games for me start at 10 o'clock at night. And if it's like a Monday night or a Wednesday night, it's tough. I know it's a Saturday night and I probably should have done it, but it just so happens that the Devils were playing tonight and I was asked to do this. But no, that's definitely something that we're going to do more of as the second round goes on. We wanted to see the responses. The Devils get a really good chance, shorthanded, batted down, and what a save by Shesterkin. Batted it down, his own bat down of a high stick as Shesterkin makes a really good save. I'm not sure if that would have counted, but still, regardless, a good save as shorthanded. The Devils were really pressing there. But yeah, as I was saying, we're going to do more. The Stars are going to be moving on, so they'll have a good time, for me at least, Eastern time, to do a lot of more of those games. So I'll definitely be tuning in for some of the Stars playoff games, whether it be the Kraken or the Avalanche. I definitely want to do more of that. But yes, Vegas is something too that we're also going to do going in the second round, and hopefully something that we'll cover. So what town are you located in? I am located in Sudbury, Ontario, where we just got snow the other day, and it's almost May, so it's pissing me off to the end of the earth, especially for me that I'm a big golf guy. I've been playing since I was like 5. I played with my dad down southern Ontario. When did I play? A couple weeks ago, beginning of April. It was in Celsius, 25 degrees. It was beautiful. It was like middle of August. It was unbelievable. And then all of a sudden, weather changes the next day. It goes down to like 5 degrees, and we get rain and snow and slush, and it's not fun. So golf courses are opening up soon, I believe this weekend, and I cannot wait. Any golf fans too in the chat, please let me know, because I'm a big guy who follows the PGA Tour, mainly when the majors come around. Let me guys know if you watched the Masters too this year. Give me some thoughts on that, and if you're a big golf fan or not. So Jacob says he watched every night's game, and they normally start at 10 and 11 my time, which is about 9, 10 your time. Yeah, like I'm not saying like I'll probably end up doing one if it is later in the night. I'll try my best and see if it's possible. Because I know sometimes, like if they can sometimes end early around 12:30, close to 1 in the morning, which isn't too bad. So I think I just have to push myself to try to stay up later than that. But we'll definitely do a Vegas game as the Devils get a really good chance. Shots stopped by Shesterkin. I don't know who it was, but a really good chance for the Devils there as they lead in shots 14-12, and they did kill the power play. The Rangers didn't look like they got a lot of shots there. Probably should be watching a little bit too, but yeah, they didn't get a lot going on the power play there. Timo Meier in this series has 0 points, 23 shots, and a career high 40 goals in the regular season. Not typically something that you want. I think, you say on one side, I said it earlier with Panarin, how he needs to score. Meier's got to step up too. Now that you see that stat, it looks like Meier's going to have to make some adjustments and see if he can get some better quality chances on net. So yeah, we got snow at the end of April, heading into May. Where you're from, shocking. Where I'm from, it's not really that shocking. I guess it's the norm here. I've been here for about 6 years now. Not for long. We're probably going to be moving south soon. Whereabouts, I think Kitchener, if you guys know. Devils get a good chance here again, blocked and goes out. Yeah, it's pretty common that we get cold weather, so it is what it is. But I'm just getting sick of it, and I'm excited to go camping though. So if you guys get a chance to visit Ontario, Algonquin Parks is phenomenal for camping. I'm sure it's very popular if you've heard of it already. Really recommend that you guys do that too. So I've been to Sudbury before. What's the town that's a fish town? When I was there, Whitefish might be the one that you're looking for. There's a lot of like surround, and I'm imagining that's a lot of places that have like major cities. You get little itty bitty towns / communities around. Whitefish is about 45 minutes from Sudbury, and it's close to Manitoulin Island, which, in my opinion, in the fall, greatest place on earth, and especially Algonquin Park too. It's so beautiful, especially if you like hiking and fishing and all that stuff. It's so pretty, and that's where you want to take advantage of it and be outside as much as possible. So I was sad that I didn't get a chance to do that when last fall, but I'm gonna try and change that this year. Any Blue Jay fans here too? They won 1-0 against Seattle in 10 innings. In case anybody was wondering, I doubt, but that's okay. Did you go to university or college, as Canadians say, university? Yes, so I went to university here, and actually, I think I have my sweater here somewhere in this pile of clothes. I think it's this one here. No, it's not. Anyway, yeah, I went to a university called Laurentian, took marketing for 4 years, and just kind of realized that sports is what I wanted to do and wanted to be involved with, and hopefully this is a first good step. So, yeah, just love doing this so far. I love being a part of this community that we have. It's been unbelievable, and me and Dylan have a lot of big plans going into the summer, and big plans going into the new season next year. So be sure to check us out when the next season starts. But as we know, it's still playoffs. It's early on. We're only about a week and a half in, and we're still in the first round, believe it or not. We still got a long way to go, as again, we got a lot of big plans coming up too, so make sure to kind of check that out too. So Jeff watching from Melbourne, Australia. I have been to Australia. Just a little flex right there. Long story short, if any of you went, okay, I'm assuming most of you went to preschool, as really good chance there by the Rangers. I'll tell the story afterwards because they have really good pressure here. 5-on-5. It's going to be, I don't know who that was. I apologize. Lafreniere in front, and the Devils try to get away, and they do. They had really good pressure there for a good minute or so as I was talking. Myers got the puck, though. He's going to get a good shot on net here, it looks like, and he's stopped by Shesterkin right at his chest. And a little bit of a scrum here, a couple of shots there on Meyer, as again, every time he visits MSG, it just looks like he's getting a beat down here. Now we go to intermission. Dawson Mercer had a good chance early on, and it looked like, yeah, it was Eric Holla who batted the puck earlier. He batted it down, gave it to himself, and he had a shot. So I don't know if that would have counted, but we are at intermission. So very quick story though. Yeah, if you went to preschool and you had a buddy, my sister had a buddy who was 18 years old from Australia. They kept in contact, and lo and behold, she asked my parents and my sister that they wanted her to be the flower girl at their wedding. It was about, if you guys know Australia, it was about an hour north of Brisbane. So we said sure. We went back in 2008, I believe. And we were there for a whole month experiencing Sydney and Brisbane and Cairns and all that, and it was a lot of fun. So hope to go back there one day, but it was a nice pen pal, and it was a very good invitation, and we couldn't turn it down. So a lot of fun to go, and I recommend it if you guys get a chance. So injured Avs player James says, are they playing or no, they're not playing, but I think they talked about Cogliano was out last night. So I don't know if that's true or not, that he's still that he's out for game 7, but if you get on that, let me know. It is still 1-1, just in case you guys are wondering, for the Lightning and the Leafs. There is, I believe, 10 minutes left in the third period there. So we got another golfer here too until COVID hit. That's all I wanted to do during COVID. 5 handicap, and now awful. Unreal when you don't know how it leaves you so fast. 5 handicap. I am a 13. I don't really keep track of handicaps. I normally shoot anywhere between 85, 90-ish. I never really took lessons as a kid. I took one lesson with my grandpa. And And then I think the best round I've ever shot was 81. So I'm working on trying to break 80 one day. I know it's going to come, but it might take a couple of years. So I'm hoping to do that one day. That's all. I don't. Did you mention Brisbane was expensive? I was there, and a local with my tour guide says it's actually cheap. I'd have to ask because I was so young. I would think I was like 10 years old when we went. But yeah, I think when I talked about this with my dad recently about it, and it was cheap. Mind you, we were gone for a month, so it can only be as cheap as it can when you're traveling with two kids and my mom. Yeah, I think from what he said, it was cheap. The most expensive place was actually Sydney, and we were only there for like a day or two. So we got a really good chance, though, to see all the East Coast, and it was phenomenal. And again, I really recommend it if you guys get a chance to go. So yeah, thanks for being live tonight. Thank you, I appreciate it. It's my first time doing it, so I hope I'm hoping doing somewhat of an okay job. I'm not going to be as good as Neil. I apologize. He does great commentary, and I love being on when he does the commentary. I'm sure you guys like it too. As we are officially halfway through the second period, it is still 1-1. Rangers with a good chance, and it goes high and wide. Tarasenko now getting involved in the play with a little bit. Kreider back in front of the net. Goes in front. Zibanejad scores! From the point, or not even from the point, top of the circle. It's Mika Zibanejad, top corner. It is 2-1, and I'm realizing now that I don't have the scoreboard up. One of the reasons why I'm not the best host, I don't even have the scoreboard up, as it is 2-1 for the New York Rangers. Kreider playing behind the net, and he just found Zibanejad wide open. Nobody was covering him. Shot went high and wide. Tarasenko kept that play going, and Kreider just took his time, and nobody was covering Zibanejad. There was about four guys looking at the puck, and nobody really had the number on him as he went, I think, bar down, as the Rangers take a 2-1 lead, and Neil, I think, is getting a little nervous. Just a little nervous. Just over 10 minutes here in the second period. Rangers are up 2-1, and the Blue Faithful are on their feet. I don't know if that's what they're called, but I'm just going to call it that anyway, as the Rangers are looking to force a Game 7. Honestly, I'm just excited if there is a Game 7. I want to be on here for Monday night for a Game 7. I couldn't be more excited. So, what do we got here? What else we got? Jeff's ass even had a hole-in-one. Got mine 12 years ago. I've never had a hole-in-one. I'm hoping to change that this summer. So we'll see what happens. A lot of Rangers fans. Steven obviously saying, go Rangers. Yeah, I mean, you got to think. It wasn't even on the power play too, but you're just noticing like Kreider being more involved, Tarasenko being more involved along the boards in the offensive zone, something I really wasn't seeing the last couple of games. But yeah, you got the Rangers fans rallying now. They got the towels going. And there's Aaron Rodgers again. Cool. We know that. Yeah, the Rangers fans are happy with this performance so far. It is 2-1. And if you're the Devils, man, you're going to have to find another way to get by Shesterkin, and you know he's going to be on his game as they try to hold down a 2-1 lead. As the Rangers in the playoffs, with Zibanejad scoring, they're 9-5 when Zibanejad scores. When he doesn't score in the playoffs, they are 16-26. So we talked about it last night, but losing Mika Zibanejad, if you're the Ottawa Senators, in that ugly duckling of a deal, it was ridiculous. As Schmidt can't find it in the crease. He doesn't have it. Kane had a really good shot on net. Rebound, still trying to find the puck here. Schmidt doesn't have it, and he's finally going to cover it up, as the Rangers were that close again to making it a 2-goal lead, as Schmidt just had problems finding it. He had a good stop there from Kane at the point, but or at the top of the circle. But yeah, all of a sudden Schmidt just couldn't find it, and now he was able to finally get it through, as we are at commercial break. As Schmidt, yeah, you can kind of see it. He had no idea where that puck was. 2-1 Rangers, just under 10 minutes to go here in the second period. We will be hearing from Neil again in the second intermission. I can't wait to hear his reaction now as we enter the third period. And, you know, something I've been saying to all series, I kind of hope that we just get a good game out of this. I want a good third period. I want it to be tight. I want somebody to score within the last 2 minutes or whatever it may be. I really want to see a good finish to this game. Maybe another overtime too. I think we all deserve it. So yeah, just kind of look at the comments again. Just trying to see. There's nothing really specific to look at here. I don't know, but yeah, like I'm friends with a Melburnian who lives up in Whistler. Okay, I want to go to Whistler one day. I don't know if you guys have been especially for the guys who are out in Vancouver. I know you've probably been to Whistler. I know Dylan has. I definitely want to go too. I've been to Banff. I've been very lucky to go to Banff a couple of times, mainly for skiing. Just me and my dad. We go there to ski every day. That's about it. It's I don't know if a funny story about that really real quick is when I go skiing with my dad out there out west, it's a routine, right? Once you kind of do it, it's a very, like, you get up at a certain time, you eat this. For most of the time, because I didn't get a chance to choose what I wanted to eat in the morning, it was croissants and Gatorade. Halfway through the day, that was fighting me there. So don't recommend. But getting up, you get there early to the mountain, you get all day in as much as you can until the mountain closes at 4. You go back, hit the hot tub, you go eat dinner, and then you crash at like 9 o'clock because you're dead from being there all day. If you haven't been to Banff, though, it's a very cool place to go to. Doesn't matter really when you go. I think anytime. Here in the summer, it's very busy there, but if you guys get a chance to, it's a very cool place to see. So Jacob's still pulling for his Knights here, as the Knights are waiting for either the Oilers or the Kings. Kings will be trying to force Game 7 tonight in LA as the Oilers look to wrap that up. Can you talk about the trade the Rangers made? I'm a baseball fan, new to hockey, and my friend told me they dumped a lot of prospects to win and build a team. Maybe I'll bring up the Zibanejad trade that I talked about early on. I'll bring it up in a second here, just trying to catch up to some of these comments here. Where's the game? Can't do it for copyright reasons, guys. We just have to have our scoreboard up for now. Maybe that's something that we change next year. Again, big plans going on next year, as that's something that we're gonna try and do. So, yeah, just kind of real quick though, like Zibanejad, when he was traded from the Senators, it was some second round pick that they gave away to, and they only got like weird prospects in a 7th. It was just very bizarre, and clearly Zibanejad's been very good for the Rangers. And the Devils are 3 for 18. As all of a sudden they're on a power play, and I think I missed it. So Devils all of a sudden get they're 30 seconds into the power play here with about 8 minutes and 20 seconds to go. If somebody can tell me what the penalty was, that'd be great. You got Bratt there with Dougie Hamilton at the point. Jack Hughes out there. I'm sure Neil is on his feet right now watching these guys. Hamilton might get a shot. He can't. Goes in the corner. Jack Hughes with it right around the net. And the Rangers get it down the ice. There you go. With a minute left. So Banff and Lake Louise is a place you want to go. So, yeah. And then Connor says he lived there for the summer season. That's cool. Yeah. It's tough in Banff because there's not a lot of places to park, and it's a very touristy place. So it's tough in the summertime from what I hear, as they're back to the point here. Severson and Hughes looking for it. And he's here with a good shot in front. It's blocked by, I think it was Kreider. I'm not sure, as the puck goes down. 40 seconds left on the power play. Maybe not the most successful power play, but a lot of good chances here, as the Devils are 30 seconds away from this power play being over. 7 minutes left in the second. Meyer now breaking it in. Dawson Mercer with it, tries to bring it back to the point. I'm trying to do a good job, like with what Neil's doing commentating. It's a little hard, but so I can understand where he's coming from. Severson with it at the point there. Meyer bringing it around. Nobody's really trying to make a shot yet. They're trying to find a guy in front. No, good save there by Shesterkin, as the power play will expire and the Rangers get it down the ice again. So good chance there for the Devils. Couple of good quality shots, but they couldn't really find a way to pull anything together on that one. So yikes, as Rangers fans are getting on their feet after a really good penalty kill, and they are now pressing into the Devils zone. Tell me who scored for the Rangers. It was Mika Zibanejad. Yeah, I think so. I'm going to look real quick because I forget. I knew it was like from Kreider and Tarasenko. I believe it was Mika Zibanejad on that second goal there. So tell me what you guys think so far. It's a good second period. The Rangers obviously taking advantage of it. Neil's probably feeling a little nervous again. We'll hear from him again as the second intermission will come up in about 6 minutes or so. Man, you got to think, if you're the Rangers, you're buzzing at this point, and you're loving the fact that the Devils are playing on their heels all of a sudden, and the Rangers are starting to figure out, like, okay, this is what we have to stick to. This is what's working. This isn't what's working. And if you can't, especially what the Devils have been doing tonight, they've been on the penalty kill too much. You give the Rangers too many of those power plays, and it's not going to work. So thank you, Steven. Really appreciate it. I've been been trying my best, just trying to fill in shoes that I won't be able to fill for Neil. But just trying to enjoy and have a good night. And thank you guys for coming on. I know it's Saturday night. I really do appreciate it because you should be out. You should be having fun. It's a Saturday night. It's almost summer. Go do something. But instead, we can't because we're watching hockey. That's the main reason. Devils ain't jack shit. Jack and Jack. Is there two? So there's Jack Hughes. Am I missing a Jack on the Rangers? Is that what you're referring to? I don't know, but I wouldn't be speaking too soon, man. This game's not over yet. We'll see what happens. The Rangers still have to win this game to force Game 7. The Devils could still end this tonight. We'll see what happens. But yeah, just kind of seeing what Donnell here from the players on the Devils. Most of them have never been in this situation before, but the Devils have got to stop taking penalties. You're absolutely right. It doesn't matter if the Rangers go 0 for 25 on the power play. That's one of their biggest strengths it's been all year. It just means they're on a bit of a slump. Doesn't mean they can't capitalize on more power play chances. You can't get any. You can't afford to give them any sort of chance whatsoever on the power play. So the Devils have to stop taking stupid penalties. And from what I've seen in recent playoff memory, that's sometimes what can kill you, right? That's what sometimes separates good teams from bad teams. It's the special teams and not taking stupid penalties as the Rangers are back in the zone again. Almost a good chance. Trouba with a shot, and Schmidt will cover it up with 5:01 remaining. Shots are 19 all, and we go to intermission again. So let's take a bit of a break for a second. I need a drink. I think I've been talking for too long. I need my can of water again, unfortunately. Man, a lot of stats tonight too, I've been noticing. So, and it's helping too because it keeps the conversation rolling. That's always a good thing. No live coverage here in Australia, so I'm grateful. I was going to ask, because you guys are still 14 hours ahead, so if I'm doing the math right, it's early morning, I'm guessing, there in Australia. But again, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. It's hopefully you guys are having a lot of fun with tonight. So Bolts piling on the pressure, and the Leafs will want to end regulation quickly. That's not good. I'm going to look and see how much time is left. There's about 3 minutes left. Just finished updating as the next goal will either be Game 7 or the Leafs will win this. I'm getting the feeling that the Leafs will score. It won't surprise me that much. I just know that if you hear my phone dinging, which I should turn the sound off, if the Leafs happen to win the game tonight, you'll probably know why. But we'll see what happens. It'll either be Game 7 or the Leafs will move on and await the winner of Game 7 between the Bruins and the Panthers, which still should be a good game tomorrow night. Let me know what you guys think of tomorrow night's game. Who should start net for the Bruins? What do they need to do differently to be successful? And the Panthers, I mean, you stick Bobrovsky back in net, and what do you need to see from the Panthers going back into Boston? Clearly something's working for them. So I haven't watched a lot of their games in the playoffs because we've been covering other games, but I'm sure going to be watching that one tomorrow, so can't wait for that. Jack Hughes' brother, Luke Hughes, drafted and plays for the Devils. Something that Neil alluded to earlier on in the series, that Luke Hughes was not in the lineup. I don't think he's played this series. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't seen him at all in this series. And I don't think you will unless there's an injury or if somebody's playing really, really, really bad and you need to get a spark from somebody, i.e. Luke Hughes. I don't think you'll see him really in these playoffs unless, again, injury happens or they need a spark. But Neil was talking about wanting to see him in, and I don't blame him. I think you want to see Luke Hughes in action too. With about 5 minutes left, guys, Neil will be joining us for the second intermission. He does have the link, so we'll take a break as soon as this period is over, and then we will bring Neil back on for his thoughts of the second period as Akira Schmidt covers it up and makes the save with 4:45 to go. So 4:45 left. Rangers up 2-1. You got to think the next goal is important here too. Rangers can take a double 2-goal lead. And in case you guys were wondering, Monday Game 7s, if necessary. All the games that you see tonight will be played on Monday if necessary. So that's if the Rangers can close out tonight. That's if the Lightning can win tonight. And that's if the LA Kings can win in Los Angeles tonight and force Game 7. You'll see all those Game 7s on Monday if necessary. Devils need to stop taking penalties, and you're right, they have to. They're going to shoot. You can't shoot yourselves in the foot. You have to find a way to keep staying engaged in this game specifically. And he played game one. Okay, good to know. I didn't know that, so I probably missed it, so I appreciate it. It was a good shot there. Devils get a good chance there as the Rangers now start breaking out. We should all act like we can't hear Neil. That's too mean. Usually, I just told him there at the first intermission, I'm like, just take the floor. I mean, it was a little tough to hear him anyway, and I know he kept like moving his phone to try to hear what I was saying, but I just tried to give him the floor there and just tell us his thoughts. And I'm sure he's going to have a lot to say here as the second intermission is starting to slowly come to fruition here. 4 minutes exactly left. Shots by the period. Rangers are up 12-8 in shots in this period. The Devils were up 11-8 in the first. So fairly even in shots, but the Rangers have the better quality chances, and it shows on the scoreboard. So yeah, it'd be funny though if we all just play deaf and don't hear what Neil is saying. So it'd be pretty funny. He played the last 2 games for the Devils at the end of the season, and he also scored the game winner. I remember him scoring the OT winner there. So, and I guess he did play game one. So apparently I missed that. But yeah, maybe you might see him then again in the playoffs if a change needs to be made. That's somebody that you might need. So that's always good to know too. 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go. As again, we are nearing the second intermission. Do not go away. We will see Neil again in the second intermission. I will try my best to see if we can also get him for the end of the third period. If this goes to overtime, we'll try to get him on there too. Or if the game's over, I know it's sometimes tough to try and get him. If I can't, it's no problem at all. As I'm just checking here, it looks like they're going to go to overtime between the Leafs and the Lightning. And if you forgot, the Lightning and Leafs went to overtime in Game 6 last year. So if you're a Leafs fan, you're still in it. You're going to overtime. Next goal wins. But doubts start creeping into their heads. So 1-1. And I guess both goaltenders have probably been playing very well I'm assuming. So should be a good third period. Or excuse me, should be a good overtime there. And I don't know if you guys noticed too, if you're watching the Devils game as well, Ray Ferraro, I think, has been between the benches for the entire series. At least every time they show him, I've seen him in every game. So I guess like they were just assigned to kind of do this series. I'm not sure how it actually works, but that's just what I think from there. I need another break, guys. I need another drink. Man, I don't know how they do it sometimes. I don't know how Neil and Dylan, these guys, can do it. It's tough. It's tough to do, but I commend them for their efforts. So I was thinking of Thunder Bay, real fish town. Thunder Bay is about 18 hours away from me. You want to talk about middle of nowhere, that's probably it. I think from Thunder Bay to Winnipeg is the closest big city, and I still think it's about 8 hours away. As Connor does confirm that it is end of regulation in Lightning and Leafs, and they are tied going into overtime. Put your predictions below. We'll follow both games a little bit too. Who do you think is going to score for the Leafs? Who do you think is going to score for the Lightning? Let us know below. I think if I had to put my money on it, I would say if you're the Lightning, I like Kucherov. I think it might be an easy pick, but I think it might be nice to see him score, or even Braden Point, one of the two. And if I'm the Leafs, I think I would probably go with William Nylander. I think at some point deserves some praise. I think he's been fairly quiet as the Rangers score. It's Vladimir Tarasenko. 1:35 left, and again, the Rangers strike with under 2 minutes to go in a period, and they now go up 3-1. A great shot again by Tarasenko. They go top corner as Neil, I'm assuming, is sinking into his chair, and the Rangers now go up 3-1 with 1:35. 2 instances there where, man, if you're the Devils, you let 2 goals in with under a minute left, under 2 minutes left in both periods, and that's not something that you want, as Tarasenko just ripped it, and Akira Schmidt he had no shot. It was a really quick puck on that one as, man, the Rangers 3-1 entering, I would assume, the third period. There's still time here left at the end of the second, still 1 minute and 30 seconds, but if they could have gone to that second period just down 1, then it's still a hockey game. It's going to make things a little difficult now as the Rangers are 1 period away and a little bit to making it a 7-game series. I feel so bad for Neil right now. I really do. He's probably sinking in his seat. He's probably got Rangers fans in his ear. It's probably one of the reasons why I won't go to a Flames road playoff game, because I don't want to get bullied. I'm not a guy for who likes to get bullied, but the Rangers, or excuse me, Devils get a good chance here. Dawson Mercer gets a chance. Shesterkin, what a save. Mercer had it backhanded. Really good pressure by the Devils. Oh my God, he had a really good chance there too. Terrible commentary, I'm sorry, as the Devils had a lot of good chances there at the end of the second with about 40 seconds to go. Rangers cannot get it out, as the Devils are going to try to press here with under 40 seconds to go here. I believe it was Ball who had a good chance there with around 45 seconds. He was at the top. He was at the hash marks, and he had a good chance there as that puck goes around, and they try to keep it in. They do. 23 seconds still to go. Who's that? Tatar with Jack Hughes. They get their top line back out there. Severson, Dougie Hamilton can't keep it in, and the Rangers still can't get it out, and now they do with 10 seconds, and I think that is going to be the end of the second, guys. So it looks like it. 5 seconds left. One more chance. No chance there at the end, as we are in second intermission. 3-1 Rangers. And yeah, if you're Neil, you're sinking into your seat a little bit. It's not a good thing, but it's okay, because we got a third period. Still lots of time, but yeah, man, if you're a Rangers fan, it's a big goal at the end of that second period here to give yourself a good cushion. And it's going to be very difficult to get by Shesterkin here as we enter the third. So we'll take a short break. We'll take a very quick break, and we will come back with thoughts from Neil, who is at MSG, guys. Do not go away as the game continues. Second intermission. Rangers lead 3-1, looking to force a Game 7. We'll be right back. Very short break, but we are back. Second intermission. I just messaged Neil to see if he's still good to come on here. He's probably just regrouping. Obviously, it was a tough second period there to watch if you're a Devils fan. Rangers lead 3-1 with goals by Mika Zibanejad and Vladimir Tarasenko, two guys, or I mean, even Chris Kreider too, I think, who was assisting on those goals, has played a major part in this series. And the Rangers are now 20 minutes away from getting my dream Game 7 Monday night, where again, me and Neil will be here Monday night. If there is in fact a Game 7, there is still a lot of time for the Devils to try to come back. Again, we are trying to get Neil to see if he wants to come on. I don't know if he's still getting hounded by Rangers fans. Maybe he's taking a bathroom break. I don't know. We'll give him some time, guys, and we'll see if he does want to pop on. There's lots of time here during this second intermission. So What do you guys think? Second period, good push by the Rangers, good couple of goals, nice cushion now. You go into this third period, and now you got to shut down the fort. This is where you're going to see a lot of block shots by the Rangers. You're going to see Igor Shesterkin just trying his best. I mean, he's had a really good game so far, but even if you're the Devils too throughout that second, not really covering your man in their offensive zone. When the Rangers press. And yeah, I mean, if you're the Devils too, they haven't got a lot of good quality chances on net. Maybe at the end of that period. Again, I'm seeing this Minecraft commercial here with hockey. I haven't seen this before. It looks cool, but again, like, I don't get it personally. I'm not a Minecraft guy. I can't say. But it looks cool, so I'll give him credit. As we are at intermission, I haven't heard anything yet from Neil, so I'll just give him some time. He's probably bathroom break or whatever. Hopefully he comes on. Again, I was very happy that he was able to in the first intermission. If we get him in the second, I hope we can. I'll try to message him one more time before the second intermission is up, and we'll just see if he wants to come back on or not. So if you guys have any questions, let me know what you thought of the second. What do you need to see from the third? What have you loved about the playoffs so far? Just let me know what you guys think, and we'll try to answer all your questions here. So Jeff wants to know what kind of clubs I hit. I've used my grandpa's clubs for the longest time. So he's saying he's got TaylorMade and Stealth Driver. Yeah, I don't have the money for that right now. I'm trying to save and save and save. I just have it. It's a TaylorMade R7. It's the driver and hybrid set that I use. And then I use an shouldn't say old. It's about 8-10 years old now. It's a Callaway 2.0 X series irons. And then for a putter, I found this, it's a nice Odyssey putter that was on clearance for like $60. It's been my favorite club so far. It's been my weapon. It's been that one, and my driver I've been really happy with. I still struggle with the approach games is what I'm struggling with. Anywhere from like 150 yards in, I'm still having a tough time. So yeah, but I'm excited to try to get some more golf in this year, and maybe that's a new sport you guys want to take up too. So still waiting to hear from Neil. I think he is busy. I don't blame him at all. I hope he's okay from what's happening. Also, too, I just left in the chat, guys. If you do want to go follow me, if you do want to go follow Neil on Twitter, those are our usernames there. I'll just bring it up on the screen real quick in case you guys want to see. That's all of our Twitter accounts. If you do want to go follow us, would be greatly appreciated. We're going to pump out a lot more content. I'm sure Neil's going to have a good Devils podcast for you guys either tonight when he gets home or tomorrow. He'll be recapping Game 6. We do have a live stream going tomorrow night with the Panthers and the Bruins. Matt from our Sensationals, the Ottawa Senators podcast, one of them that we have on, will be doing Game 7 between the Panthers and the Bruins tomorrow night. And I imagine we'll be here again if there is a Game 7. It looks like it's leading that way. As I'm looking here, we got PK Subban and Mark Messier back on the desk here for the Rangers and Devils second intermission. Again, still haven't heard anything from Neil. We'll just wait and see. Not a big deal, but yeah, it's been a good game so far. Again, I think we're in for a good third period. All it's going to take is one if you're the Devils. And same thing for the Rangers, man. You get one more, and you might just shut this thing down pretty quickly. So, yeah, hopefully this thing goes to 7 games, and it's gonna be interesting. I'm just reading this here from Jacob. Rip Tate. Andrew Tate was just found dead after being poisoned. I'll believe it when maybe I read an article about it. Okay, you know what? Let's all take a second here and let's take a look and see if that happens to be true. I'm just going to look it up here real quick. I think he's fine from what I see. Again, maybe this was just recent. I don't know. I don't know much about him, to be honest. Maybe you guys do more than I do. I know who he is, but nothing news-wise. I don't see anything on him. It says that he was poisoned after struggling to breathe. But whatever, maybe I don't know, right? So maybe we'll just wait and see. But I don't know much about the guy, so I have no comment really on that. As we still wait here to see if Neil will get a chance to come on. If not, it's not a big deal. I know he's enjoying his time at MSG, and I'm just doing him a favor tonight by just making sure we got a live stream going for you guys. I know you guys enjoy watching the Devils and the Rangers throughout this series, and it might not be over yet, as Game 7 will be Monday night. I think they were saying the time was 7:30, so make sure you got that in your calendar. It's 7:30 Eastern on Monday. Let me make sure that's right. Okay, I'll make sure at the end of the game that I get the time for you. But yeah, that looking to be more of a possibility. Really throughout the second period, I think the thing that surprised me the most, yes, was the Rangers power play, but I think maybe not even the second period, but maybe throughout this whole game is just the dumb penalties that the Devils have been taking. I think now it's got to be 4 or 5, right? The amount of penalties that they've been taking is just too much. You're giving the Rangers too many chances. Even though the last 2 goals, I believe, were 5-on-5, if I'm not mistaken. But the Rangers are playing much better than what we've seen in the last couple. We kind of knew that they weren't going to go down without a fight. But yeah, it's been a really good push for the Rangers, and I hope we get a really good third period coming up. So I'm sure that's the case. I'm sure the Lightning and the Leafs are going to be set to drop the puck soon in overtime. Again, let me guys know what you think. Who's going to score the overtime winner for the Lightning? If you got to pick for the Lightning and the Leafs, if this does go to 7 games, I hope you guys can check us out Monday night too as well. We got a lot of great live streams coming up, and I'm looking forward to it. So it should be a lot of fun. Jeff's saying that golf is the most frustrating game out there. Never master it. I don't think anybody can, unless you're Tiger Woods, unless you're recent Masters champion John Rahm. I mean, it's you got to be in the top 50 in the world, and then that's truly mastering. Even being on the PGA Tour is mastering it. Nobody's a master at it. I think it's. I say that even though, like, if you are on the PGA Tour, I guess you would master it. But anyway, it's you either love it or you hate it, right? But sometimes it always happens where you play 18 and you get to the end of it and you play a really good last hole, and like you get a birdie, for example, and all of a sudden it makes you want to go back, right? Or you play the last hole when you're golfing, and all of a sudden you get like a triple bogey, and you're like, I don't want to see my clubs for the next 5 weeks. So it's a love or hate game. You're never perfect at it, but I just enjoyed going it with my friends, and maybe that's something that you guys can get into as well. So Bettman loves primetime Saturday night NHL refereeing, especially when the Rangers benefit. Bettman and Disney love the ratings, and not a better venue to show how pathetic the refereeing to go to Game 7. The refs have been questionable, I'll say. I won't batter the refs. They have been pretty bad from recent memory in the playoffs. But at the same time, like, as much as I'm not trying to defend them, they are human at the end of the day. They are gonna make mistakes. It happens. This many mistakes is an issue, so maybe that's something to take into consideration. But as players, more specifically, you got to find a way to work around it. You can't worry about what the refs can control. You have to worry about what you can control. As we look back here, they're just showing us again here real quick as Stamkos was tying it there with 15 minutes left. So they are about to drop the puck in overtime. The Leafs will either finish it tonight, or the Lightning will force a Game 7. Jeff asking again, thank you, appreciate it. And I'll try to do it in the future too. If Neil asks me to do this again, I'll try. I like doing it with people. It's just nice to just have that interaction. If you guys saw last night, we had Dylan on. It was a good Stars and Wild game that we watched, and that's something that I hope we're going to continue going forward. So yeah, just excited for kind of the live streams that we have. A lot of exciting games coming up. And we'll definitely do ones that we haven't done yet. I know we just live streamed like just the scoreboard for the Stars and Wild earlier on in the series. I think we did Kings, or excuse me, did we do Kings and Oilers? I think we did. Anyway, we did, or sorry, it was Avalanche and Kraken too. But we're definitely going to do like more of those too, especially when the second round comes out. Again, it's just tough for me just because I'm a pansy when it comes to the late games on the East Coast. It's easier for Dylan just because when he does the Vancouver watch parties, it's only 7 o'clock there. So I understand it's tough for me, and I'm a loser going to bed early. So, as you get older, you'll realize that, I can't stay up till 4 in the morning anymore. It's impossible. So it is what it is, but we're excited with a lot of the live streams that we have, that we got going forward. So hopefully the Devils can get back into the game and pull out a win. Listen, it's not over yet. These playoffs have been batshit crazy. They've been wild. Minnesota Wild, no pun intended. it's certainly not over. It doesn't help that the Rangers had that goal again at the end of the period. It's a back killer if you're the Devils, letting one in the power play at the end of the first, and then again here in the second period. It sucks. Don't get me wrong. Certainly, this game is not over yet, but it looks like they're wrapping up intermission here, and we are getting ready for the third period. So I'm sorry, guys, that Neil couldn't come on. I didn't get a response from him, so he probably is busy. It's totally understandable. Hopefully nothing bad happened to him there, but yeah, I understand he's probably busy. He went for a bathroom break, but it's okay. We're going to let him enjoy the night. This is why I'm going to do it. I'm doing it for him, and hopefully you guys are enjoying the game tonight too. So maybe with that, I'm going to take another break real quick because I do have to go to the bathroom, not going to lie. So they just went to commercial, guys. I'm going to go throw it to another commercial break real quick, and then when we are back, it will be the start of the third period. I will get to your comments, and we will see, are we going to get a Game 7, or can the Devils come back and finish this series tonight? I will be back in a minute. All right, we're refreshed. We're ready to go. We had a good bathroom break, in case anybody was wondering. We're ready to go here as they're just finishing up commercials here. We are going to get started here with the third period very soon. Unfortunately, Neil couldn't be with us tonight for the second intermission, so I apologize in advance. He just paused his notifications, so I'm assuming something's going on. He's very busy. I'm not going to bother him. We'll let him just kind of be and have his night tonight. I probably won't reach out to him then if that's the case, as the stream just kind of towards its end, whether this goes to overtime or not. We'll just kind of see how it goes, but it's okay. I understand it wasn't the greatest second period, so I don't know if he wants to talk because maybe he has been talked to by Rangers fans already. But again, I just hope he's having a fun night there, and that's all that matters. So again, thank you guys for coming on. Really appreciate it. We are going to get started here with the third period very soon. I am keeping up to date, and hopefully you guys are too, about the overtime that is 5 minutes in, and I think it's over. Guys, I think it's over. I'm not going to lie. I think the Leafs just scored. I'll confirm it for you real quick, but I think it's over. Yep. It's all over, guys. Morgan Rielly, game winner. There will be no Game 7. The Leafs do win it in Game 6. The Leafs fans are going wild. It's over. The Leafs have finally broken the curse. There will be no Game 7, and the Toronto Maple Leafs have finally done it. They have won their first playoff series for the first time since 2004. So, you know what? Congratulations for them. whatever. They finally did it. I think it had to happen eventually, right? This wasn't going to happen every year. Good on them. Doesn't mean anything. It means nothing. You know, as a guy who lives all around Leafs Nation, I'm sure the fans are going wild there, which they should be, and it's totally understandable. It had to happen at some point, but whatever. Congratulations. Good for them. They haven't done anything yet. That's just me in my eyes. I'm sure you guys have other opinions too, and I'll gladly accept them as well. As we are underway here, though, in the third period, Rangers up 3-1. They just dropped the puck about 15 seconds ago as the Rangers pressing again here, and I bet you Neil is more nervous than ever. And he's probably gonna be freaking out, especially if we have to do a stream on on Monday if there's a game 7. Steven just asked too, what's been the most questionable decision this game? It's a good question. I don't know if I've really seen anything questionable. I think both teams made adjustments, maybe not lineup wise if you're the Devils, but I think coming in this third period, I might have to watch a little bit more. But I wouldn't say questionable. I would say why the Devils are taking so many unnecessary penalties. Like the Palat one was just odd. Like you had the trip and the back-to-back. It was just ridiculous, right? So he's got to stay out of the box. And for me, it's really just been the penalties tonight. It's been too many. And speaking of which, we got another penalty coming up. I think it's going against the Rangers. It is going against the Rangers. It'll be Mika Zibanejad going in the box for tripping. So an early Devils power play coming up. And you got to take advantage of this early on in the third. Get your best unit out there. Neil has said that the second power play unit has been the best unit so far. Yeah, clear trip on Jack Hughes. As all of a sudden the Devils now have a chance to go on the power play, and my phone's blowing up as it should. I'm just going to flip that over because we're doing this stream tonight. It's all that matters. I knew this was going to happen. Connor says, you know what, give the Leafs props. They finally managed to break it. 100%. I'm not saying that at all. I think, they had to go into Tampa in a hostile environment. Good on them. They had to get it done eventually, right? You had to win a series eventually. My whole thing with that, as the Devils go on the power play here, I'll let you know if there's anything that transpires as Meyer gets a good shot and he is stopped by Shesterkin. My whole thing is I don't mind, like with the Leafs, I understand that they haven't won 4 games in 19 years, or whatever it's been since 2004. It was going to happen eventually. And, now you're going to get Leaf fans who are going to go over the moon about it. Oh my God, we're going to the Cup final, blah, blah, blah. I give them full credit. They played a very good series. They didn't let the Lightning back in it. They stole some games from them, which was important. But in the grand scheme of things, it means nothing. It means literally nothing. So you want to call me a Leaf hater? By all means, I'm ready to hear it. But I'm sorry, to me, what? So you win the series, you move on. If it's Boston, let's just say they get the job done tomorrow night as a scenario. If they play Boston in the second round, what happens? If you don't win, also I forgot the scoreboard again. I've been really bad at that tonight. I apologize. But yeah, no, my whole thing with that is like, good on them. They had to do it. Finally, this was their 7th attempt at doing it, and they finally did it. So you knew it was going to happen, but that's not the end game. The end game is you want to, for me, I think if you're the Leafs, you got to make the Eastern Conference final if you want it to be a success, right? You don't want Boston. You want Florida in the second round. I imagine that Leafs fans are going to be rooting like crazy for the Florida Panthers to win tomorrow night. If they get Boston, it's another tough series. It's going to be a much tougher opponent than what Tampa gave them. Good on Tampa, though, too. I mean, it wasn't the perfect series, but they fought till the bitter end. They almost pulled it off and almost made it a game 7 again. But again, like just in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't mean anything yet unless you do something with it. So I give them the props. Congratulations. You finally won 4 games for the first time since 2004. Now go do something with it, right? I'll tell you what, though. If the Panthers do win tomorrow night, as a Leafs hater, quote unquote, I'm very afraid that they could make it to the Cup final. They could very well at least make it to the Eastern final, and it all really kind of relies on tomorrow night, right? But then again, that's just me. That's my quick little thing about the Leafs. let's leave it as it is. Let's see what happens tomorrow night. Let's get back to our game that we have here, though. There's about 25 seconds left in the New Jersey power play. I haven't seen them set up a lot here, it seems like. So you got Dougie Hamilton there at the point. They're trying to get their second power play unit out there. You got Palat in front of the net. Shot goes wide. Again, they got their second power play unit out, and Neil has said that this has been a really good power play unit from the get-go. So that's probably why you're seeing a lot more of it, even though the power play ends. And again, a good kill by the Rangers. And if you're the Devils, man, didn't get a lot of good quality chances on net. So there's about 16 minutes to go. Only 2 shots on that power play. So 16 minutes left, and it looks like we could be on our way to a game 7. The Devils have to do something here. Is backhanded by, who is that? Michael McLeod. Ryan McLeod as Shesterkin covers it up, and there's a bit of a skirmish for the Rangers and the Devils here. So getting a lot of the Leaf stuff in here. I totally understand. John Cooper looks so pissed. Look for a lot of trades. I don't think you can be. I mean, I understand, like, you know, you're the Lightning. They won what? 2 cups. They were in the Stanley Cup final the last 3 years in a row and won twice. So how mad can you really be, right? What else? Boston in 4 over Leafs, or Leafs in 6 over Panthers. That's what I mean. I think it's going to hinge on tomorrow night. If it's Boston against Toronto, it's going to be so tough for the Leafs to win that series. But if it's Florida, Toronto should win that series handedly, right? We'll see what happens, though. Florida's made a really good series out of it. Well done. The curse is over. Yeah, no, congratulations to them. It was a hell of a game 6, and they could not let that go back to Toronto for game 7. So they haven't won a first round in 19 years, but they haven't won the 4th in like 56 years. Exactly. It is still a lot. The meme is still out there. That was the whole thing of what I was saying. It doesn't matter. You won 4 games. Congratulations. You won a cookie. Like, what else do you want? It doesn't matter. Like, the real thing is, you know, you got to have bigger aspirations. You don't go out and make these trades for guys like Ryan O'Reilly and whatever else they got. You know, you got to make it worth it. So let's see if they do that, as Palat had a really good chance and Shesterkin falls over. I don't know if Palat had something to do with it, but there was a little bit of a skirmish. Again, as Jack Hughes just appeared out of the net, I didn't even see him with 15:41 to go. So, man, the Devils had some chances, but they can't seem to put it past Shesterkin. They got to find more bodies in front of the net, make him think, make him be more uncomfortable, and all of a sudden, the Rangers are in a really good position. Oh, yeah, that's what happened. So, Jack Hughes got body checked into Shesterkin. He kind of just flew over his back, and that's kind of how he ended up in the net. So, what do you guys think here of the third period so far? You know, what do the Devils need to do to try to tie this thing up? And if you're the Rangers, man, you got to try to pile on and try to get one more goal here, as the Rangers are well on their way here, it looks like, to try to make this a game 7. Seems like we're all talking about the Leafs and the Lightning. So you know what? Tell you what, if the Rangers make it 4-1, or if this game starts to get away, then fine, we can talk about the Leafs. I have no problem with that. It's okay. I don't mind talking about a franchise that hasn't done dick in the last 19 years. Sorry about the profanity, but it's true. They haven't done anything. And I don't want to talk about something that's totally meaningless. And if you want to celebrate and you want to flip over cars and do all that stuff that they were doing literally the other day when they were up 3-1 in the series, then by all means, go ahead. It means absolutely nothing to me. Go do something with it. So, anyway, the Rangers are 26-5-4 when leading after 2, so it's going to make it difficult for the Devils to try to tie this thing up here. And the shots are still pretty even. It's still 23-22 for the Devils, but again, it comes back to that quality chances that the Rangers have had, and they had really good looks all night long, and more than the Devils, as they get a look here, another shot from just outside the top of the circle, and Shesterkin makes a good save there. Devils setting up, though, again. I don't know why he's trying to shoot that from the side of the net, and almost tipped in, scramble in front. Devils can't put it away. A lot of pressure, though, as the Devils are not going away quietly. They're just throwing everything they can at the net, it just seems like, which, again, isn't a bad thing, but, oh, no penalty. Okay, I was going to say I thought that was a bad check, or bad cross-check there, as the Devils have been in the zone for almost a minute now. Another good shot on that. Rangers can't get it out. They will now, though, with Schittle. As they bring it up, it's going to be a 2-on-1. Tarasenko there with Panarin. He's going to find Panarin, who just had missed that puck out of reach. And Panarin, again, trying to go cross crease. He still can't find his man. So good chance 2-on-1. They just couldn't find a way to solidify it. So, man, that was a good back and forth there. I'm doing okay. I commend a lot of the streamers who do these a lot on their own. This is my first time I'm doing it, so it's a lot, but we're doing okay. We're managing, man. It's all good. Yeah, we both hate the Leafs shitters, and they will do as much as Buffalo they did last year. Again, I'm giving them credit. Congratulations, but talk to me as the playoffs continue, right? So, how's Neil doing? I don't know. That's a good question. The curse is broken, as Richard says, just in our community chat. But Neil, I haven't heard back from. He's probably just relaxing. He's probably just taking it all in. That's why I probably didn't hear from him coming on in the second intermission. So it is what it is, man. And I'm just letting him enjoy the game as they go to commercial break, as the Rangers are getting close to forcing that Monday night game 7. While we're into it, let's take a break from the scoreboard for a second here. And you know what? We might as well get into it as well, because I think that's kind of what's been going on here. McDavid scored for Edmonton. It is 1-0 for the Oilers. The Oilers should win this game tonight, no problem. I think they've handled the Kings for the most part this entire series. I think it should have been over in 5, but it's only 1-0. It's still the beginning of the game. Anything can happen. That's why playoff hockey is good. Yes, it is. But just the point I'm trying to make, and again, not that I'm shitting on Leaf fans. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy for them. I'm happy for my entire family who just won't shut up. Because I get it. Like, they finally do it. Like, whatever. My whole point is, okay, it took you 19 years to win 4 games. 4 games. And I understand the playoffs are hard and all that, but what's going to be interesting to see going forward is not letting this go to their head, right? So let's just say, again, for example, let's say the Panthers win tomorrow night, maybe. The Panthers find a way to win tomorrow, and they go to Toronto, and Toronto will sit there and go, oh, if we can beat Tampa, Florida's going to be a breeze. They're going to be nothing. They can't go in with that sort of confidence, right? They are still who they are in my eyes. I knew that they were going to break it eventually. It was going to happen. I think a lot of people were starting to see that as the series progressed. It took game 6 to overtime against the Lightning, guys. So, they're still going to be a very difficult out as the series progresses. But I really believe that tomorrow night, between the Bruins and the Panthers, that's going to change the complexion. It's going to change the entire way that bracket looks. So, I know. I've got about 9 messages from family members right now, Dylan. So I know it's going to be okay though. It's one round. It's okay. We'll let it be. And I'll probably see videos afterwards too of Leaf fans just going berserk in Maple Leaf Square, and whatever, just let them be, man. Let them have their moments. Let them have their one moment. I'm sure Carolina Hurricane fans were doing that the other night when they won. I'm sure Dallas Stars fans were doing that the other night. I'm sure they were. So it's okay though. It's still the Leafs. They still have a long way to go, right? As long as they don't win the cup, I think we'll be happy. But you got to give them credit, because I think it's going to be interesting to see what the Panthers and the Bruins game turns out to be, because that's going to change the entire playoff picture in that Eastern Conference. If the Panthers win, the Leafs have a very good chance to get to that Eastern final. You can't let the Bruins win tomorrow night if you're the Leafs. And if they do, that's something that I really, really, really want to see. And that's exactly what they've been doing. That's all that they've been doing. They've been waiting for this moment for 19 years, and they're going to go ballistic, right? They're going to do the exact same thing they did when the Raptors won the NBA championship back in 2018, 2019. It's going to happen. So I'm sure I won't hear about it. I'll hear about it for the rest of the night, which I'm looking forward to. But that's not what we're focused on right now. We're focused on the game here. It's still 3-1 Rangers, 12:45 left. The Devils still can't get anything going as we got another 2-on-1 here. I can't see who the players are, but they get a good shot off. Schmidt with a save, rebound, they score. 4-1 Rangers. It was Jimmy Vesey there on a 2-on-1. Neil is sinking into his seat more. It was Jimmy Vesey there on a 2-on-1. I believe that was Barclay Goodrow. I'll bring the scoreboard back up again, guys. I apologize. And yeah, it was Barclay Goodrow, so the fourth line getting it done as the Rangers. I think they did it. I think they might be doing it tonight. 4-1. It's going to be tough for the. I mean, the Devils weren't really doing much here in the third, but Barclay Goodrow, yeah, nice little tip. Schmidt just couldn't get a glove on it, as the Rangers are going to be looking to punch their ticket for Game 7 Monday night. I'm sure Neil's feeling a lot of things right now. I don't think I'll get a chance to make sure we get him after the game. I was lucky enough to get him in the first intermission. It was probably really hard to hear for him, so I don't blame him. Game 7 will be back in New Jersey on Monday night. So I imagine that's probably where this is heading. But this is only good for us because we get to do this again on Monday night. And I can't wait because I love Game 7. So it's going to be fun. Jeff really getting the reasoning. One round means nothing. You would think they would win one round in 20 years. Well, it was going to happen eventually, right? You can't go the rest of your life. You can't go the next 100 years without them at least winning a round, right? So every team in the NHL has done it. I mean, the Kraken have been in the league for now 2 years. They might win a round tomorrow night, right? So Vegas did it in their first year in the finals. It's like, you can't celebrate that much for winning one round, right? So again, we'll see what happens going forward. Congratulations. And I'm sure I'll be talking about it more the rest of the night because it just won't go away. And that's just what it is. I'm just trying to focus on this game as the Rangers now go up 4-1. It was Barclay Goodrow assisted by Jimmy Vesey with 11 minutes to go. I don't think Neil will leave this game early. I imagine he won't because he probably paid good money to be at this game. He got great seats, though, by the way. He's, I believe he's in the third deck, and he's on the, I think where Schmidt is now, where the Devils are defending, he's got a really good view of that side there. So I just hope he's still trying to enjoy it. I know it's tough when they're down 4-1, and I hope Rangers fans aren't that mean to him, but that's kind of a stretch. So we'll see what happens here. As Jerry says, that was an insurance goal. That was Barclay Goodrow's sixth goal in 80. He got 6 goals, in 80 games this regular season. That was his first of the playoffs. So you like seeing a fourth line getting on the board as Andrew's trying to get New Jersey back into this game. There's still 11 minutes. There is still time. The Devils have to do something, but you kind of go back, and for me, it was two things. It was the penalties that cost them. I think it was about 5 penalties that they've had this game. It was that and the 2 goals that you let happen within the last 2 minutes of both periods. And, clearly one team wanted it more, and you saw it from the Rangers tonight. They wanted this more. The Devils haven't had a lot of really good quality chances outside of the one goal that they had in the first period, and they haven't really been able to do much since. So it looks like we're heading to a Game 7, but there's still lots of time left. So anything can happen there. So not the worst news so far, the Devils. I think it's bad news if you're Neil right now. Him having to suffer through another game. I can't imagine what he's going through right now. I don't think anybody confirmed the Andrew Tate stuff. I don't know what it was, nor I'm just going to leave it as it is. But yeah, we go to a studio update. We're going to see the McDavid goal here as the Oilers look to try to finish their series tonight in LA. I'm sure Oilers fans will just be fine if they win the series tonight and they won't celebrate like crazy, as McDavid does tip it in on Jonas Korpisalo. It's 1-0 early on in the first there. Just want to thank you guys too. Again, I know we got about 50 people on. Thank you for staying on. I really appreciate it. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you go subscribe if you haven't. Check out all our podcasts too, again, on our website. Got lots more podcasts too. Had a good week. Might have some more podcasts coming onto the network, so we got to make sure we check those out too. And a lot more live streamings coming our way. Again, we have Panthers Bruins live stream tomorrow night, and it looks like we're going to be doing Game 7 on Monday night. Me and Neil will be live for that one. I think it's going to be at 7:30 on Monday. That's my best guess. It's either 7:30 or 8 o'clock. They don't normally like to start at 7 with these guys, from what I've seen, but yeah, I think around 7:30, 8 o'clock, I'm sure we'll get an official time very soon. So yeah, we got a couple of Game 7s coming up. So this will be probably the third Game 7. We got the Kraken and Avalanche tomorrow night. You got Bruins, Panthers, and then it looks like you're going to get this one as well. I think outside of the Oilers and the Kings, I think that's it, because the Hurricanes are now moving on. The Leafs are on. The Knights are on. The Stars move on. I think it's just those 3 that I'm missing, it looks like. Or no, there's 4. Hold on. Devils, Rangers will probably have Game 7. You got the Avalanche and Kraken. You got Oilers Kings. They haven't gotten to Game 7. So yeah, we got 3 Game 7s at least. It looks like we got coming up. So we're not going crazy. It's okay. A little bit of a break here. The game's gone by pretty fast. Not gonna lie. Third period, 9:28 to go. As the Rangers, who finally found something on the power play. Again, it was only 1 power play, but that meant so much to them. That kind of carried them into the second period. It was a lot of momentum when they finished that period off, especially at the end of the second too. It's not good when you let in another goal under 2 minutes to go. And I think that kind of set the pace for the rest of this game. And again, the Devils can't be taking stupid penalties. So you can't be giving these guys any sort of chance. And that's exactly what happened. So yeah, it's unfortunate if you're Neil. I feel bad for him, but that's the way hockey works sometimes. So it is what it is. And I gotta turn this off. This is ridiculous. I'm getting FaceTime calls now, and I'm like, go away. I don't want to hear it. Like, that's what I mean. Like, you won't experience Leaf fans like the family members that I have who won't shut up. Like, I get it. Congratulations, you won 4 games. It means nothing. So I'm just gonna try to ignore it the best I can tonight. And congratulations, we get to watch them in the second round for once. So I really hope Boston wins tomorrow night, but we'll see what happens. So Florida's been playing them tough. So I expect that to be a good game, and I expect Boston to bring us their best. Florida's been so physical, though, throughout the last couple of games. So they're not going to go down quietly. They managed to crawl back in, and they're going to have something to say tomorrow night. So thank you, Jeff. Really appreciate it. Trying my best here. We're about 8 minutes away here from a Game 7. Again, I think I'm going to leave it tonight for Neil. I was going to try to get him after the game. I think it's just going to be too crazy for him trying to leave the arena and trying to get him on. But, you guys will hear from him on his recap on his podcast. I don't know if he'll do it tonight, if he has time, or if he'll just put it out tomorrow. One or the other. You'll hear a recap of Game 6. You'll hear about his experience at the game. I'm sure he's dealt with people there already and all that fun stuff. As we are still 7 minutes away, it is 4-1 Rangers here. Rangers get a good chance here. They're entering the zone as Artemi Panarin looks like he has it left side, trying to find a man in front. Good stop there in Panarin, right around the net. That line's been working well tonight. Panarin just hasn't found a way to put the puck in the net still, which is still an issue in my eyes. He scores. As I say that, I think, no, it wasn't Panarin. It looked like it was Kakko who had the tip. I could be wrong. Number 4 on the Rangers, Mikkola, maybe. I could be wrong. It is Braden Schneider, makes it 5-1, and the Rangers are on their way. We can officially say there will be a Game 7. I really hope they show Neil on the screen. That's all I was waiting for. I think he's too far up, though. But yeah, that's unfortunate, as the Rangers definitely found their groove tonight. Another 5-1 game for the Rangers. 5-1 Game 1, 5-1 Game 2. You're seeing it here again in Game 6, as the Rangers look like they're on their way to forcing a Game 7. So, Neil, I'm sorry. We're going to have to do it again on Monday. We're going to go through it. And, yeah, the Rangers have been absolutely phenomenal tonight. I think they're looking at this. I think they're looking to see if there was a high stick, or I don't know if – oh, you know what? No, they're pulling Schmidt. Akira Schmidt is being pulled. Vitek Vanacek will go in with 7:32 to go. And now you got a question. I imagine they'll still start Akira Schmidt on Monday night. I would believe that's the way to go. Vitek Vanacek's record through the series, he's 0 for 2. He started the first 2 games. He's got 9 goals against. So I don't think you want him starting Game 7. So, Kyle, you have the Rangers done tonight. I think I had the Rangers winning for, I think it was 3-2 or something like that. I didn't expect them to be up 5-1. Difference the past 2 games, it's definitely been different. It's been really good for the Rangers, man. They've been all over the Devils. And again, like, kind of going back to the shots on goal here, like, it's the quality for the Devils that I've been questioning, that it just hasn't been great. Like, Shesterkin's seeing everything. The Rangers have made Akira Schmidt work tonight, and it hasn't worked out in his favor. So, yeah, crazy 5-1 game. And you kind of knew that the Rangers weren't going to go down lightly, and they fully responded tonight. So it was a great game for the Rangers. And back to the drawing board if you're the Devils, man. You got to, if you're Akira, man, you got to shake this off and go into Game 7 thinking, you got to have a little bit of confidence and say that they can get it done in Game 7. So what have they done different tonight than the last 2 games? Sorry, I kind of missed that there. What have the Rangers done differently? It's a good question. I think they've been gifted a lot of power plays. I'm not going to go there because they're still 1 for 5. I think what they've done differently is they've been peppering Akira Schmidt, not with quality shots. When I say they've had guys in front of the net, they keep keeping guys in front of the net, making sure that he's not visible. That you see, if you go look back at the highlights later, it's a lot of the shots from top of the circle, top corner. There's about 2 or 3 goals tonight that went top corner on Akira Schmidt. So maybe there was a weakness that they found there, but they were really good, hard quality wrist shots, snapshots, whatever it was. It was a lot back to the basics. So better passing, understanding where everybody is on the ice, and overall their chemistry has just been off the charts tonight. So it's really worked tonight with Panarin being on that third line. So give him credit where credit is due. So it looks like we are at a commercial break here. We got about 5 minutes left. Again, I don't think Neil will be coming on. I did just send him a quick message, or I will in a second, just to see. He still has his notifications paused, so it's probably just because he's still at the game, enjoying it all, as the Rangers are up 5-1 with a couple minutes to go. So, looking a bit forward now, assuming that this game is over, we now see Game 7 on the horizon Monday night. What do we think? What needs to happen for the Devils to respond after another 5-1, well, it looks like a 5-1 loss? What do they need to do differently? And what do the Rangers need to keep continuing to do? As studio update here, Sean Durzi with a shot for the Kings, and he scores. They are tied in LA. Durzi gets his first of the playoffs, and they are tied in the first. So Monday, they are showing here. They still haven't shown the time yet, but it looks like the Rangers are on their way to a Game 7 here, and the Rangers fans are not sitting down. They are, okay, sorry, I shouldn't say that. They are sitting down. You get a couple of kids that are waving their towels and that. They're having a good night. Neil's probably not having a good night. I'd really like to go to see the MSG one day, man. It looks unbelievable. You wonder, and I was kind of thinking about this too, but now that the Saddle Dome is gone, or will be gone as they build this new arena, do you think at some point MSG is going to, you can't keep up with it, and at some point they're going to either have to revamp it completely, or they'll never change that, I believe, correct? Because it's been there for so long. You got to think that building's definitely getting old. Now, mind you, they probably keep it in very, very, very good condition because of the history behind it. But I always wonder, if it will ever get to a point where they have to completely renovate it, they need to change a lot of things with it, or if they need to change locations with it too. I don't know. I mean, I'd still like to go see it one day. I hope it lasts as long as the Joe Louis Arena, for example. I was lucky to go see it at the Joe, and that was a cool experience. So thank you guys again tonight, though. We got 50 people on. It's been pretty consistent with that tonight, so I appreciate it. It's been my first time doing this, and I appreciate all the nice comments. So hopefully I'll be definitely doing more of these. I'm excited to do more as the playoffs continue. Not much more to say, really. It's been very quiet for the Devils. They've kind of folded here. Even when it was 4-1, they had a little bit of a pushback. Just seems like they've kind of folded here, and they're letting the Rangers just all of a sudden, take it back in the offensive zone, goes back in the offensive zone again. And the Devils are basically folding, it looks like, on this game, as again, the Rangers were by far the better team. But if there's something glaring to look back on this, I think it is still those 2 goals, one at the end of the first and then one at the end of the second, that you just can't allow, right? You can't let that happen that close to the end of the period. And that kind of hurt them, and also too, just the penalties kind of hurt them at the end of the day. So it's a bit unfortunate, but that's the way hockey works sometimes. MSG was first and only match I've seen live. It's a good first and only match to see live. I think the next one I want on my bucket list might be MSG. I don't know why play is stopped all of a sudden, as it looks like Hischier is down. I think they're calling a penalty. Obviously pissed off, and now Devils fans are Devils fans. Tatar's getting pissed off. They're now throwing gloves. They're just pissed off that this is where they're at. So now they're just jawing back and forth, and nothing really exciting going on. But yeah, real quick, like I definitely want to see MSG. That's on the bucket list. I think the next one I want to go see, oddly enough, I want to go see the Winnipeg one. I think like just seeing them play in the playoffs and having their whiteout and stuff, and like it looks almost similar to the Senators arena in the sense that like anywhere you can kind of sit in there, it seems like you're going to get a really good view. Because I think it used to be an AHL arena, and I know they've expanded it over the years. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know. It just looks like something that'd be a lot of fun to be at. That's just me, but I'd like to see all the arenas. So just got home from work. Kyle clicked on the TV, and now it is 5-1, and the Devils scored, started the game, and scored the first goal. They did. The Rangers scored 5 unanswered. Again, 2 at the end, or excuse me, 1 goal at the end of the first, 1 goal at the very end of the second. It was 1 goal on the power play too. They were 1 for 4, 1 for 5 on the power play. So again, not perfect. They did manage to get 1 though, so good for them. But again, those 2 goals just really kicked the Devils down, and that too. Again, back to the penalties, just too many to take, and that's not going to win you a lot of hockey games. So I haven't been to Nashville. That's another one that I'd like to go to. Now that you say that, I probably want to go that a little bit more than Winnipeg. What's your guys' favorite arena that you've been to, other than your favorite team's home arena? What's your favorite arena that you guys have been to? Let me know in the comments. He wanted to go to see the Prens but missed out. I think that'd be an electric environment. You know, I think Nashville too would just be an awesome city to visit. That's I think that's kind of next on the bucket list as it like pertains to U.S. cities, like just being like traveling in the U.S. That'd be pretty cool to see, though. Yeah, I would definitely go to a Nashville game for sure. Another studio update, Oilers and Kings here. We're going to see, it looks like the Oilers are going to get on the board here as it is Klim Kostin, I think is what his name is. He gets a goal, and the Oilers now find themselves up 2-1 early in the first there, as, you know, a couple of goals early in that first period in the first 10 minutes as, again, I still think the Oilers are going to close that out, but the Kings might have to respond again, so we'll see what happens. Donnell looks like it's going to Game 7 Monday at the Prudential Center. The Devils had their chance, and they couldn't do it. You're right, they couldn't close it out tonight, and I don't think it was nerves, really. I just think they got outplayed. I think the Rangers needed this more than the Devils wanted it, and the Devils will be going on a power play. I totally missed what it was, but the Devils will be on the power play for 2 minutes with 5:31 left in the game. And yeah, it's going to be Game 7, it looks like. So we will be there Monday night for Game 7. You'll get all the exciting commentary from Neil. I can't wait just to sit back and let Neil take over. He's going to be excited to do it. I'm excited to watch him do it. And I hope you guys can join us Monday night too. It should be a lot of fun. So it's not even the first MSG, but I think this one will just be reconstructed. And if it is for whatever reason, it will be probably stay as a monument. I would hope so. I think it is historically you can probably consider it's a monument now. I kind of wish that they kept the Saddle Dome as a monument too, but you know, obviously the taxpayers wouldn't be happy with that. As the Devils get a chance and they score, it looks like Dawson Mercer who gets one on the power play. It is 5-2, but it looks like it's going to be a little bit too late. They get one late on Shesterkin, they get one on the power play, so you got to feel good about that, right? It's a good chance for the Devils to feel a little bit better about themselves, get a late power play, knowing that they can still score on special teams, and maybe that's something that they can carry into Game 7 with. So, like the scoreboard, where did you do this one? I tried to do flash score earlier. It wouldn't work because my laptop's 18 years old and has been hissing at me all night. But when I put it on here, it was just flashing like nonstop, and it wouldn't stay like how it is now. So I'm on live score is what it is. So that's the one. If I ever do one alone, guys, this is probably the one that I'm going to refer to here. As puck's dropped again with under 5 minutes left, as the Rangers are still up 5-2. So we're not going to get another 5-1 game as what we saw in Games 1 and Games 2. You said that the Rangers needed this game more, but what did you say about the Devils where they got killed in this game? Well, the Rangers needed this and wanted this more. I think it showed too. I think the Devils just kind of assumed that, you know, they were going to get their opportunities and they had to create them. again, I'm going to go back to the two things where the penalties killed them. And it was really, you can't allow two of those goals, one at the end of the first with whatever that was, like a minute, 24 seconds left in the first. Rangers score on the power play there. So that doesn't help you. And then at the end of the second there, it doesn't help with like a minute, whatever was left. And, those are two goals right there. And I say that because it could be 3-2 right now. And you could be seeing Devils. I mean, they still pull the goalie here with 3 minutes left. They're going to try and see what they can do here, but it just still looks like it's too little too late. But it could be a 3-2 game, and we could be seeing the goalie pulled and all this mayhem as Meyer gets a really good chance. He can't put it away as they get the extra man out there with 3:33 to go. You got to think it's got to be a goal a minute here if you're the Devils to try to find a way back in this, unless the Rangers can just pot one in the empty net, and that could be it. So, again, guys, know we're kind of getting the end of it. It's kind of a blowout. Really appreciate you staying on. It means a lot. Thank you. Before I end the stream tonight, I just want to say thank you for coming along with me. This was my first official stream on my own, so it was a lot of fun. It's hard work, but it was worth it. So I appreciate you guys staying on, especially on a Saturday night. It means a lot. Go give this a like. Make sure to check out our website for all of our podcasts. Make sure to check out tomorrow night for another live stream between the Panthers and the Bruins. It's going to be a great game. I'm for sure going to watch it. And it looks like Tarasenko had the empty netter, but he missed it. Just over 2 minutes left here in the third. Again, I probably won't hear from Neil for the rest of the night, so I apologize. We'll kind of just let him make sure he gets home. He gets home safe. We'll definitely have a conversation before. I think what we'll do for Game 7 is we'll try to jump on a little bit earlier, maybe before Game 7 begins, and we'll kind of talk about it before we get going and give you guys some insight. And I'm sure Neil will have a lot of insight for you guys too, as what he saw in Game 6 and what he needs to see different in Game 7. We'll have some good insight for you guys before the puck drops on Monday night as Rangers fans are on their feet. It looks like the Devils are going on the penalty, I want to say. No, I don't think so. Shesterkin just made a good save there as you got two Rangers bodying one Devils guy on the ground. And Shesterkin making a glove save, making it look flashy. So, yeah. So let me go. What do you guys think? What did you think of tonight's game? Was there anything that you didn't see that you wanted to see? Maybe a closer game. I don't know. That's what I wanted. We didn't get it. I'm going to scroll up though and see and look at our earlier comments just to see who was the closest, because it is 5-2. I said 3-2. I'm going to just check and make sure that if there was somebody else. We had Liam here who was 4-3 Rangers in overtime. So that's somewhat close. That's the first one that I saw that was close-ish. Jeff earlier still had 5-3 Devils. We had Sean here who had 3-2 Rangers. So I think that one's close too, because that's not, I guess he didn't say overtime. Still looking here. We had Hockey from Home had 4-3 Devils, as the Rangers almost potted that into the empty net, so could have made it 6. Again, Jacob had 3-1 Rangers. There was somebody earlier who had I think it was 7-4 Rangers. Sophie had 7-4. So it's still a high scoring. That's somewhat close too. I don't know who I'll give it to, maybe at the end. I'm just trying to look and see if there's any other score predictions that we had towards the end of the first. I think that was about it. So, you know what? Everybody wins. Everybody who picked the Rangers tonight, everybody wins. Because I don't think anybody really got that close. I would probably say the closest one was maybe Sean, 3-2 Rangers, maybe 2 goals less. They didn't go into overtime. Or if you want to say maybe Liam too, he had 4-3. I know that's kind of close too. I'll let you guys decide. I wasn't close. I had 3-2 Devils. But I'll let you guys kind of decide for yourselves, as we have just over a minute remaining here in the third period. We are wrapping this one up here. The Devils touch up for icing with a minute and 13 left to go. So am I going to have Neil after this game? I'm not going to have him, just because it's probably going to be crazy for him getting out of the building, making sure if he was on a train, making sure he gets home okay. So I doubt he's probably getting ready to leave, or he is probably getting ready to leave. So I'll just let him be tonight. I'll let you guys listen to his recap. If he lets it out tonight or tomorrow, we'll kind of let it be there. So what do the Devils now, since they had terrible Game 6, what do they need to do? Make another goalie change? I don't think you can. I saw the stat earlier with Vanacek. where it was 9 goals against in the first 2 games, you have to stick with Schmid because, you can't let one game define it. He had a fantastic games 3 to 5, and, you have to think that he's going to get stuck in the net for game 7. So that's just my opinion. But, I just think you shouldn't let a guy back in who let 9 goals in 2 games. As the Rangers here, 40 seconds left. They look like that puck is going in, just misses the net, and they'll probably let this one wind down a little bit here. Certain people said that in this game, the refs called the game very badly, and the refs wanted the Rangers to win. I don't think so. I think just looking back on the calls, they were the right calls. I don't think there was anything that was phantom, or else I would have said something. No, the Devils were taking some stupid tripping penalties. There was a slashing call that Palat had that was fair. 10 seconds left here. Devils shot themselves in the foot with penalty kill, but that's it. 3 seconds left, and that is officially it. A little bit of a scrum there at the end. I think they tried to pot one in at the end. I don't think they're going to count it. No goal. It is 5-2. The game is over. Rangers force game 7 back in New Jersey. So that means we will be here for you guys Monday night in New Jersey. Thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it. Rangers fans celebrating, and I'm sure Neil is getting out as soon as possible. The Oilers lead is fucked. I would imagine it is. I'm going to look at it after. But yeah, that was a lot of fun, guys. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. I would have Neil on, but he's probably leaving the stadium right now. Make sure to check out Devil's State of Mind on Twitter. He will have a podcast out for you guys, I assume, tomorrow. Make sure to check out our THPN YouTube channel, our podcast website as well. Got a lot on there to check out. Make sure you check out our live stream tomorrow night. We got Panthers and Bruins for Game 7. And make sure to check out Monday night. We will have Game 7. I'll be back. Neil will be back with us for Game 7. And we are not done yet. So this was my first one, guys. I really appreciate you coming on. And I won't finish with Neil's Rock On because that's his thing. I won't do it. But again, thank you guys so much for coming on. Really appreciate it. And we will see you all Monday night for Game 7. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.